Welcome back to the channel, guys. For those of you who don't know us, I'm Rocky.
I'm Kimball.
And today we're celebrating 27 years together.
Oh my god.
And we're going to be explaining how we made our gay relationship last this long. Kimball, how are you feeling? Kimball decided to celebrate by getting COVID.
Well, we don't know that's what it is.
Well, he lost his sense of taste and smell, so I'm pretty sure it's COVID.
Like 90%, but also it's like I always lose my taste and smell when I have a bad cold, so it's nothing new.
But he's feeling like top energy, which is perfect for a live stream. So I made sure to add, I already went over like all the things I was going to do with Kimball. So we had like a Q&A session thing we went and did together. I've added so much more that you're not aware of because I love to give Kimball a little like surprise here and there. So anyway, if you guys are joining, I will keep up with the chat as much as I can. So I see Jenna, Daryl, Darren are here, and Carrie. So thank you guys so much for joining. And let's just kick it right off. So basically what I wanted to say, first of all, if you want to look for ways to support Kimball and I as we just moved to Bangkok and started doing this full time, I've listed all the things below.
So thoughtful of you.
So starting with, which way? Patreon, right over there. So Patreon is our main source of support. So I want to also thank everyone who has joined our Patreon over the past year. That is really the entire catalyst for what's made us be able to live our dream and for me to quit my corporate job and for us to move to Bangkok. So the pressure's all on you.
Yay.
And if you guys have any trouble hearing our audio and stuff, let me know as well.
Oh yeah, because we just got the mic sitting there, so hopeful.
Let me listen to it real quick. Let me go ahead and say something really nice about me.
You are the absolute best, and it's little surprises like coming up with random crap during a live that keep us together.
Is it great? Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So basically we have our Patreon over there. There's also Buy Me a Coffee right below Kimball's crotch, right here. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Not on live stream. There's also PayPal, which I've just added. That's a newer one. And then also Wise, which is what we use here for our currency conversion and stuff like that. So there's so many ways to support the gays. But anyway, so aside from that, I just wanted to get right into our top tips basically for relationship advice. I didn't tell you about any of this.
Yes, you gave me very strong eye contact just then.
Yeah, so here we go.
Top tips.
Kimball, how we've grown individually and still grown together. What do you think? I felt your energy drained just about 10% just
sleepy.
Kimball said he was going to threaten to just like fall asleep in the background and I could just talk the whole time.
So, okay, gosh, how we've grown individually. Have we? Have I? I think I'm really just a part of you now. I'm an extension.
I think we've both grown individually, though. I think that we have allowed each other to do that. So I think I think that me being terrified of the world has really pushed you to blossom as this person that can take care of both of us. I think that's true in some ways, actually.
Yeah, it's sad.
High five, bro. That's not sad.
Yeah,
Kimball,
well.
I actually really like taking care of people, and Kimball adores being taken care of. But
I do.
The thing is, Kimball also takes care of me.
Thank
so
you.
all the things that I don't like doing in our relationship, Kimball does. So like he does all the house admin, he pays all the bills, he does all that stuff so that I can be free to do more creative things.
I mean, it's true. I think that's kind of true in most relationships. Like, you kind of just do, like, find your roles. I don't know. But, like, yeah, I mean, obviously you're out there making the monies, so I'm at home taking care of all the crap that people that go to work don't want to go home and do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a very dumbed down, simplified way of us saying it, but that's the general idea.
You know what?
But I think
I've got foggy brain, so I can just say anything and you're just gonna go with it.
But I think Kimball also does his own YouTube channel. He does his own art, and I help him with that when I can. But he really runs out all of that on his own, and he runs his own creative vision for what he wants in his life without much interference from me at all. So I support him, but I don't try to like guide him or like force him into anything. And I think in the same way, even with our YouTube channel that we're doing here, Kimball's never like, don't do it this way, do it this, like he'll offer suggestions, but he like lets me have the freedom.
There was that first episode where I was like, he's like, come look what I did, and I was like, what the hell is this? This is not what I thought was going to happen, but it's working.
Kimball thought it would be like this aesthetic vlog with like
right, because that's totally what we were into at the time. So
down with that.
Yeah, whatever.
Tip 2, not really tips, but you get the idea. Handling conflict without tearing each other down.
Well, I mean, tearing anyone down doesn't help any situation.
Agreed.
So, yeah, it's just easy. Well, and don't let things fester. If something's bugging you, bring it up right away, because then you're not like, mulling over all the different things that could happen.
Are you speaking from experience?
No.
Can you tell us about that?
I don't have an experience of that happening.
Sure, Jan.
But yeah, no, it's...
Wow. What were you going to say?
I don't know, something clever and witty.
Kimball and I would never tear each other down, so I think that we don't have a lot of conflicts, to be honest. I think our biggest conflicts are disagreements over, like, what we're having for dinner, maybe, but even then, we usually agree, so I don't...
Oh, God, we're like everyone else. We're like, I'll have whatever.
Yeah, so I don't think we have a lot of disagreements, but I think when you do have a disagreements, I think it's really good to remind yourself that you love that person and respect that they have a different opinion. And I think as long as you remember that and you put your own ego and self aside, then it's fine.
Oh my
if
gosh.
you're really caught up in yourself, it's hard.
Sorry, I just looked down. There's so many comments.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're so overwhelmed by all the support, you guys, and I just want to tell you that we don't ever take it for granted, and we never will. All the people that have shown up for us in our lives, and we really think of you all as friends. And if you're new to the channel, you got to be friends with us anyway. Sorry, you don't have a choice. Let's go into... I'm going to get through these tips, and then we'll read a few comments. So if you guys do have any questions that you want us to answer, do me a favor. Write question in all caps so that I can easily find it in the chat, and then ask your question, and I'll go through it. I'll answer those.
Question? Tell me what you think about me.
Also, if we're like really loud, let us know in all caps as well. Sorry.
I'm sure our neighbor will let us know.
Okay,
Our neighbor
3.
was listening to opera earlier.
They were. It would just sounded great.
Yeah.
Navigating external pressures as a gay couple. Maybe this is more irrelevant to earlier in our relationship when people were like giving us advice.
And I'm all, what external anything do we have now?
Well, we have a lot of people that follow us now.
Oh, well, yes, this is very...
But that's all supportive.
I was just thinking of like...
I think like your families give you pressure, growing up. I think like our friends growing up, some people told you to break up with me at one point, right? So
yeah. Well, they didn't tell me to break up with you. They were just like, you're really bad for Rocky. Like, and I was like, what? Why? They're like, you just are. And I'm like, what? I believe you.
Perfect.
So yeah, it was awful. Like in the beginning, I was like, screw you guys. But that was one of those things that I shouldn't have kept to myself, and I should have talked to Rocky about rather than letting it fester. And
because Kimball ended it with, I think we should break up. And I was like, over my dead ass body? What are you talking about? Out of nowhere. He's like, well, our friends think I'm not good. Like, I'm not good for you or whatever. And I was like,
well, it was like they all think that you could do so much better. And like, I don't want to be the one holding you back. I want you to like find you're the best partner you can have.
So if anyone's in it, I know that only like 1.5 of our audience is under the age of 18 or like 18 to 25, whatever. If you're in any kind of relationship and you're getting external feedback like this, but you feel a different way about this other person and you feel really strongly about it, like you really should, be grateful that people care enough about you to give their advice, but also remember that like you are the one living your world in reality and it's not these other people. And in the same respect that if you're not able to be yourself because of the people that are around you and they won't let you change into the person you want to be, it's time to just make an evolution and like you only get to live once. So
oh my god, it's like therapy session with Rocky.
Sorry,
mostly Rocky.
It's just that Kimball and I have been through a lot of stuff and we've seen a lot of relationships also, so we feel really passionate about people being able to live their own lives, and I think you guys probably get a sense of this from watching our channel, is like we want people to have adventures, we want people to
of course.
love the people around them and love the life that they're creating for themselves.
Well, and we were also fortunate that both of our families accepted each other, like they were both
maybe not
very
right
happy
away.
for us.
Like my mom's watching, she'll remember like wanting to like pull a shotgun out if I brought Kimball home, right? Like we all remember the good times.
That's not on me though. That wasn't all about me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because you lied.
Yeah, well, why did I tell that little fib?
Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to say about navigating external pressures as a gay couple?
Well, I mean, you kind of
You ready?
covered
Are you
it
ready
all.
to move on?
Yeah, like Rocky said, listen to yourself before you start listening to others.
Next. All right, so keeping intimacy and playfulness alive over the years. How do you do it,
What's
Kimball?
intimacy?
Sex.
What is that? Did we just do it?
No, because he's sick. Anytime we get sick, we don't.
I just poked myself in the face.
Like to get off? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean just now you did? Okay, gotcha. I was like, is this how you keep intimacy alive? You poke yourself in the face? Answer the question, Claire. keep that intimacy alive, Kimball?
Well, I don't know who, like, I enjoy being intimate, so why would I stop?
Okay, so
Like,
I would say, like, when you're first in a
See
relationship...
how I start off with something really, like, and Rocky's like,
No.
takes over. I set this off.
I think I know what Kimball's trying to say.
I like to say it the dumbed down version.
No. I was going to say, when you're first in a relationship, you're first falling in love, that's always, like, probably one of seemingly the most exciting things, right?
Yes.
Having sex with, like, a new person is like, oh my God, I've conquered this thing, and it's like, I have what I want, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
move
getting
on.
something exciting, and then you would think over, 27 years, by then it must just be, like, routine, like getting an oil change, whatever. In a lot of ways, Kimball and I, aside from sex, we try to be affectionate in other ways. So, like, I try to, like, Kimball really likes his head massaged. You know what I mean? So if I can sense that Kimball's stressed, I will just go and, like, rub his forehead and try to relieve stress that way, or I'll scratch his back, or just, touch each other in any way.
Go and get us health insurance and food when I'm feeling really sick.
Yeah, totally. All those things. So we just try to, I think we try to read each other, and Kimball's also very good at knowing when I'm stressed or when I have stuff, and he knows, like, when to not engage.
That's when I walk in the room, hey, Rocky, and I just, like, back out slowly.
It's never that bad, but kind of. It can.
Well,
be.
I mean, now that you've left that career.
The week after I left my corporate job, Kimball's like, wow, the room is so different now.
I'm like, the vibe in here is so much different.
In our office, anyway. Yeah, so thanks to you guys, now Kimball gets to just have a lot more fun with me.
Yay, thanks, guys.
But I also think that we try to have sex regularly, to be frank.
We try to. Like, it's a real struggle.
Yeah, we like get is it this work for your schedule? Is this 10 p.m.?
Schedule it in
Like, are you going to be
diary.
sleepy by then? No. I mean, we try
Yes.
to, like, do it. We don't go long without it anyway. I won't get into it.
Like, we've had some dry spells when he was real busy at work and our sleeping schedules just didn't line up.
That just means a really exciting moment when we finally get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next one before we get, like, dinged from YouTube. Building a shared vision and when it's okay to diverge.
So,
Let's talk about shared vision, because we just made something really huge happen for our lives.
like, big. I was like, let's do this. And you're like, okay.
Kimball, this shared vision, let's talk about just moving to Bangkok, because that's, like, the latest iteration of what's happened in our lives. So Kimball started this journey 8 years ago when he started watching Thai BLs on TV, and, like, basically I came home from work one day, he's like, oh, just watch this.
I was like, watch this. I mean, it's very different from what we're used to, but, like, I'm into it.
Here we are now. We live here. But Kimball and I, when we have a big life change like this, we try to really listen to each other and communicate regularly about how we're feeling a lot. So we don't, like, go long periods of time keeping it to ourselves. We try to, like, talk as we go.
Right, and we both kind of, it's like we kind of just know that, like, whether we want to do something or not, like, we both get the vibe that the other one wants to do it as well, but we still have to talk about it. Like, is it crazy? Should we? Shouldn't we? Like, we go through those conversations a lot.
And I think at this stage in our relationship, too, we probably don't keep moving towards a future that we think the other person won't be into. So I think we naturally gravitate towards things we know we'll both enjoy.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that we're, like, shutting off something else that we really want to do. It just means that we know that we want to prioritize our relationship and be old together. And so we want to make sure that whatever decisions we're making are going to ladder up to that dream that we have. Because ultimately our dream is to, like, grow really old together and be healthy and happy.
Right. Well, and I was going to say, even though, like, we had the shared dream of coming to Bangkok, that doesn't mean we want to do the exact same things while we're here. Because, like, I ain't going to Mai Tai. No, thank you. That's all him.
And that goes back into, like, we still allow each other to do the things we want to do. And, like, Kimball he doesn't really like the heat all that much. Once we have a place, Kimball's going to probably be home a lot. I'm not going to drag him out if he doesn't want to go out.
Right. Well, and I don't mind the heat so much here because it's, like, 5 minutes to, like, the train ride, and then it's, like, blast of freezing cold air, and then 2 minutes to get inside of a mall or wherever you're going. So there's lots of AC and whatever.
Okay.
But so, like, I eventually am going to start looking for art groups, or I think there's, like, 2 or 3 nearby, but I'm probably going to hold off until we've found our location, our permanent location. So
I think the other shared vision that we've had for our relationship from early on, like within the first year, is, like, we knew we wanted to be monogamous, and, like, we're not saying that gay relationships have to be that way. We're just saying that for us, we learned, because we tried doing, like, threesomes and not to get, like, too graphic, but we tried like bringing other people in when we were in our first year.
We did all the things that we felt like we were supposed to. I don't know, or like you didn't want to miss out on or something.
Right, but like it wasn't something that was going to work for our relationship ultimately.
Yeah.
And we both knew that like if we wanted to have a lasting relationship, we needed to like be together.
Right.
Like for that moment, like and that's just lasted basically.
Right, and it's in those moments it didn't cause any issues with us, but we both felt unfulfilled. Like it didn't,
like we knew that if we kept doing it, it would lead us to a future that wasn't what our vision was of being together long term. We knew that it would cause more, and we already had a lot of stuff happening in our lives. Like I was moving to LA, that was a whole thing. I didn't know if Kimball would come with me. There was like a lot of stuff happening, and we wanted to like simplify our lives and make sure that like our journey became very focused and our intention was very clear. So again, I am sure it's a lot of fun to like have, relationships with multiple people in the same thing, and it like more love to share. I totally think we respect that, and I think when I hear that it works out for people, I feel really happy in my heart for them. It's just for us it doesn't work at that stage. So
yeah,
I mean, who knows what the future will bring. I think it's going to stay the way it is now. But
how did we get to this with that question
about like having a shared vision, like because that's a shared vision for us.
Oh yeah, being monogamous.
Yeah. So
and how do you say like, because I don't even like, do I say like I'm fidel to you, like fidelity, like how do you say like, because they are
faithful?
Different. I guess that's it, but like, yeah,
I don't know.
Because one is like I devote my like love to you, but I still have sex on the side,
right.
And one is like I devote my love to you and my like body, just only you.
Okay, got it.
So I think that's fidelity.
Kimball, are you ready?
Yeah.
Kimball's secret to our success.
This little secret that I think Rocky should share with you.
No, I already have mine. I have mine on the next one. You have to do yours.
Kimball's
this is all yours. You don't get any help from the teacher.
Okay. The secret to our success.
Really think about this. Don't just make it up, Kimball. This is important.
Yeah, really think about it.
You have 1.5 of our audience is really listening in right now.
You've been thinking about this for hours.
I haven't. I just wrote the question. I didn't even think about it.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's like, well, it's got to be honesty. Like, you have to be honest.
With yourself or with the other person?
Well, both.
I'm not leading you. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, like if you have issues within yourself, you need to bring them up. Like you need, like I said earlier, don't hold things in. Whether it's external or internal, like let him or her know how you're feeling. I think. No, I had something before this and I forgot. A brain fog, sweetie. I don't know what's going on. I'm sick.
What is the secret to our success? How do you think we've lasted this long?
Compromisation.
Okay.
Is a big part of it.
All we do is just compromise. No, I see what you mean.
I would say that you more so than me. But,
okay, explain.
Well, like you go to work. I didn't have a job. Like, that's a huge thing. But, like, again, that's something that we talked about. It was like, if I needed to work, I would work.
I think compromise is a good thing to talk about, though, because I think it's about putting your ego aside when you know it's like not important. I think some people feel like they need to argue every point.
Acceptance, like,
Irene's helping. Irene knows that you need help.
I accept your flaws. He doesn't have any, though.
I do.
So perfect.
I've got this mole right here. Anyway. Do you feel like you want to keep talking about this?
No.
Okay, let me just move on.
I'm not articulate at all.
Rocky's a secret to our success.
See, Rocky's articulate, and he's very good at explaining things.
It sounds like I'm articulate, but that's because I edit the hell out of our videos.
Well, you've been speaking very well thus far, sweetie.
Okay, Rocky's secret to our success. I think that, very similar to what Kimball said, I think learning who we are and being honest with ourselves about what we want for our lives as individuals, aside from like having this. No,
don't make that thing.
No, but like aside from like having a person that you're sharing your life with, like knowing what you want and having an intention in your heart and following that dream first, and making sure that, as you're making these decisions for your life, that if you want your partner to be part of that you're making decisions that will bring them into that.
I also think it's good to be each other's cheerleader, too.
Yeah. And I think if you're in a relationship and you feel like the journey you want to take doesn't include that person and you're changing your ultimate dream because of that, it may not be the right relationship. Like, it may be something you need to talk to that person about and be like, I really, in my heart, want to do this thing. And maybe you're like, but I want to be with this other person. It's still something you should talk about, because otherwise you're going to resent the fact that you haven't brought this up. And it's not their fault at all. It's your fault because you kept it in. So I think honesty with yourself and like knowing what you want for your life. And if you don't know what you want for your life, communicating that. You guys are sitting around, you are like trying to figure out what you're going to watch, you know, like on Netflix, what you're going to eat for dinner. But like sometimes it's good to just sit and have 10 minutes to like, let's talk about how we're feeling about life.
Right.
And like not think it's a boring conversation to have, because some of the most meaningful conversations Kimball and I have, and I think we always recognize when they're happening, is when we just turn to each other and we're like, let's like talk about what we want for our lives right now. Happens every like 2 or 3 years where we have a really big conversation out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I remember some conversations where I felt completely directionless, and I was like, I felt like I really wasn't contributing to the relationship in the way that he was, or the way that I thought he wanted me to. Because he was out doing a lot of things with like friends and stuff, and that guy was totally fine with that, but I wanted to be a part of it. But because of just like my physical ickiness, I didn't like going out, and so I felt like I was missing out on a lot. I thought that he wanted me to be a part of that, and it was this whole thing, whatever.
Okay, we have a question. I'm gonna take us a break for just a moment here.
Ooh.
Let's go to the close-in. Oh my God, it's the close-in screen.
Oh, gosh.
Let me just like move this slightly. There we go. Question from Buto. It's like Buto XX. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm so sorry. Question.
I would say Butox.
Okay, there you go. How do you guys mesh so well? Question marks. I have yet to find someone to have the same energy flow as you two have. Also, love you guys more. Oh, that's so nice.
Well, I think we were lucky because we found each other when we were very young. And in the beginning, we had a year, basically, where Rocky was staying with me at my parents' house. So learning how to live with each other was a pretty gradual thing. It's not like we both moved out of our own space into a new space, and I mean that's a little more clashy. You got to learn how to live with somebody.
Yeah.
So we had like a good year to like practice living together, and then
it also helped that we were obsessed with being together. Like I remember staying the night. I would stay the night with my grandma like every Saturday night or whatever, and she'd fall asleep, and I'd sneak out of the house at like 1 a.m. And like I remember one time I walked all the way up the freeway.
Yeah, it was about 5 miles.
Because I didn't want to start my car and wake my grandma up. I walked like 5 miles to his house just to hang out with him for an hour. We like cuddled for an hour, and then his brother drove me back. And we were obsessed with being together, and that never really changed. Like even when I had to leave for a year, like that was anyway, we'll get into it later.
But I was gonna. Well, now I lost my track of thought.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I was saying like we've been together like since we were so young that we have grown a lot together, and we went through a lot of those changes that many people go through either on their own or like their college years kind of things. Like we did that all together, and we learned a lot about each other through those periods. So like our
identities are each other.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like,
oh my God, you finished my sentence.
Like,
fuck you.
Like, you can't say I am who I am without Kimball. Like, I wouldn't have done all of the things I did if I didn't have that driving factor, and that was Kimball. And I think the same for you.
You know, it's kind of weird because sometimes I'm like, am I manipulative? Because I think back about like, I was like, Rocky, IMTA, modeling, went to LA, and then I'm like, Rocky, IKEA home tour, traveling the world. It's like, Rocky, you should totally do this. And I'm like, all these things I like encourage you to do, like weirdly led us to here. And I'm like, wait.
But you didn't have to do any of that. You just like, hey, Rocky, you're like planning a little
scene. So then I'm like, am I horrible?
Is Kimball a mastermind?
Well, we had fun, didn't we?
Yeah, here we are. Okay, I'm gonna see if anyone has any other questions. Secret of a good relationship: accept each other's shortcomings. That's a good one, Eric, for sure. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to catch up on comments. Kimball, talk to them. Entertain them while I'm trying to like make sure I didn't miss anything.
You guys want some entertainment?
Irene says, "Oh dear, get better."
Oh, thank you. I am trying.
Robbie's here. He says, "Hey, my amazing friends." Hey, Robbie. Hi. Joshy's here. Sharon's here. John's here.
Ooh, everybody's here.
Leslie Clegg's here. If you guys know Leslie, she has her own episode. So does Eric.
She has more plants now.
She does. How are the plants doing, Leslie? Hopefully they're not being too loud at night and keeping you up.
Hedwin and Kamau.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to like spend too much time on this. Kimball, talk to them. Talk to them.
I mean, I'm so good at talking.
How was your day today? Can you explain?
Well, it was awful because we went out and had apparently the most delicious breakfast you were ever going to have in all of Bangkok. And I couldn't taste a thing. Rocky's like, oh my God, Kimball, you are really going to love that banana chocolate chip freaking piece of bread.
I've never described something as like being so delicious.
You're reading this. I'm telling the story.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, I'm telling the story.
Okay, go ahead.
No, yeah, so I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, okay, no, actually, this is weird. So this morning I got up and we were getting ready to go out and I spritzed on my vanilla and literally I was like, oh, that smells good. And then it like faded really fast and I was like, what the hell was that? And so I like smelling it and I'm like, I can't smell anything. I'm like, oh God, I literally just lost my sense of smell like that quick. It was really bizarre. And I'm like, okay, so I went to the kitchen and I tried some food and I was like, no, I can't taste anything. But we went out for breakfast anyway because I needed something. Yeah, so then Rocky he has a bite of my like banana chocolate chip piece of bread and he's like, oh my God, this is so good. It's so chocolatey and the banana, it's not too sweet and the flavors just mesh so well. I take a bite and I'm like, I got nothing. Couldn't taste
And I was
anything.
like, well, that's sad for you.
And I was like, oh. So then I tried a piece of his bacon because that's got a pretty strong flavor. Nothing. And then I tried a little bit of maple syrup and I can taste sweet, but I couldn't taste maple. So I can taste, and like, it's weird because I have two fragrances that I can smell completely, like full strength. Very weird. Nothing else. I know you're interested.
That was riveting.
I thought so.
Scott says, thank you for doing that.
Hey,
Scott says, my husband thought I was breaking up with him when I was about to propose to him.
Oh, what did you do to make him
What
think
did
that
you get really serious? You got serious face, didn't you,
You're
Scott?
like, we need to have a talk.
You're like, yeah.
Well, that's a poop face.
Well, I mean,
I'll be right back.
Break up with me or take it down.
Okay. Yes, one or the other.
How's it going learning the Thai language? Ken wants to know. Ken, by the way, Ken's been Ken probably is one of the people that's commented the most and sent so much love. And when it was really early on in the channel, I remember Ken was always posting the most encouraging comments and really helped me stay motivated. So Ken, I love you tons, along with all of you guys. But like, just Ken.
We actually just talked about it tonight, how I was like, we really need to start watching some YouTube videos on how to learn how to speak Thai.
Yeah. I think we've been so preoccupied with so many other things.
Preoccupied,
octopus. We're getting stung. So we basically just need to like focus our energy right now on finding a place to live because our Airbnb only lasts like another 2.5 months, basically. So we are really focusing that, and then once we're settled and we have a place and we have completely redecorated, we'll then start learning the Thai language.
Right.
We've been told from a Thai person it only takes 6 months. So
I know, she's like 6 months, a year tops, but 6 months, and I was like, are you insane?
They don't know us.
Tried so hard to learn the alphabet, so I'm gonna have to figure out like, I don't know, there's got to be some kind of trick to learn this alphabet because the Korean one, it was pretty easy. Like, there were a couple of, like, vowels and some things that go together that still kind of trip me up. But, like, it's very, very simple, very straightforward. Like, the symbols just kind of rotate and they make different sounds. And, yeah. The Thai alphabet is beautiful, but, like, what is that? Like, I don't know how to do it.
Shane just says that we're very different without the sound effects. And as you were doing that with your hands, I just pictured, like, yeah. You guys, I actually go through our lives, like, thinking of the sound effects now. Anyway, John's like, you have COVID? Yes.
I don't know if I do, but it is going around here, and it is a minor strain, but Rocky doesn't have
Eric's like, wait, you can't taste Rocky? LOL.
Yeah.
We have Wolfgod says, hello from Singapore.
Oh, hi.
We really, I was so close to moving to Singapore, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, yeah, I'm very close.
Do you have COVID? Question, do you have COVID, Kimball? Yes, maybe. We don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't have a test with me. But it's been a few days, and it hasn't really been terrible. It's just congestion. And then today I lost probably like 90% of my smell and taste, but I always lose that when I have a cold, so hard to tell. Rocky's been fine.
Robbie says, by the way, Robbie has the cutest TikTok account. If you guys ever want to find him, is Robbie Poindexter. Go look for him. He has the cutest stuff where he, like, anyway, I won't get into it, but he's really fun. Says, question, any advice for us lonely people that's looking for love like you guys have here?
Okay, I can only speak for myself because I don't know how this stuff works nowadays. But I wouldn't personally do anything on the internet because, well, okay, you know what?
Wow.
I'll say what I would do.
Okay.
I would look for somebody in a place that I like. Like, I love books. So if I would, I don't know how to word this. Like, I'm not going to go looking for somebody in a dance club because I don't like to go to dance clubs. So I try to find somebody who's doing something that I like to do, whether it's in a coffee shop, a bookstore, shopping around, looking for cute things, art, anything like that. Because then if I meet them there, I know that right away we have something in common. And we can build on that or whatever. Maybe I just make a friend. I don't know. But me personally, I don't like internet stuff just because it freaks me out.
Like, Kimball's like an old man before he's an old man. He's like, get off my lawn person.
But there's way too many times where it's fake profiles, fake pictures, people pretend to be someone they're not, lying about their jobs, families. Like, it's, for me, it's too risky.
I also think that I think online's a great thing, actually, in some ways.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's not for me.
So online, I think there's a lot of good things. Like on Facebook, there's a lot of groups that are tailored towards people who have specific interests. So there might be people that, I love backgammon. Okay, you're super passionate about backgammon. Go to the backgammon group.
Well, that's
Gay
like
backgammoners.
Okay, that's like in the same vein of what I'm saying in like going to a bookstore. But yeah, that's different. I was talking like one-on-one. Let's go meet up in a dark alley and.
But I think the fantasy of like finding someone online and like writing someone is very different than being in person with them and talking to them, smelling them, like all those things that are very tactile. I think it's really hard to experience those online. So I think people can probably get carried away with like the fantasy of it all online. Without like the reality of what this person's like. Like, do they sit with their legs crossed in a way that makes you rage? You know, I mean, they're just like, there could be things that you aren't aware of or thinking about that like, it's all gone when you're online.
Yeah, they could have like the worst taste in cologne.
They literally just sit and fart all day, okay? Like that. Do you want that? So I don't know. Maybe you do. I'm not saying, like, I'm down.
He farts a lot.
You signed up for it. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that like finding people who are doing things you like. So if you really like to read, going to a library, or if you really like rodeos, going to a rodeo, whatever.
And yeah, like you said, like doing like groups like in Facebook, that's very different.
Doing groups.
Like going into a group of people who like to do the same thing, and like you like maybe chat with somebody in that group, and then like, oh, let's go meet up somewhere. That's different. Like I'm talking about like the grinder stuff. That kind of freaks me out. Like I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really
because I mean we've met people that have met online through Grindr apps and similar, and they're doing great. So
yeah, I think it's hard because like we started dating when we were babies, so it's like I feel like we're not the best to give advice for like dating now because I feel like if Kim and I stopped dating each other for some reason, we'd be like, well, we're done dating.
I feel like
I'd be like whatever. So yeah, it's hard. I think that dating, especially as a gay person, I mean, not just as a gay person, but I think dating as a gay person is probably really difficult because I think a lot of guys probably just want to have like a one-night stand. Once they're done, they're done, and they want to move on, and they just want to like have sex. So I think that's not everybody, but I think that a lot of men are feeling lonely because they're feeling a connection with someone, they're connecting, they have this relationship, they have intimacy, and then the person ghosts them or says, I don't like you anymore. And that's got to really affect people's ego. Because they're thinking, what's wrong with me? Like, am I not sexy enough? And like, really, the reality is the other person just wants to like have anonymous sex with people and move on.
Right.
So what I would say is like, if you're having that type of a situation, I'm not that this is what Robbie was asking about, but like, if you're having this type of a situation, I would just try to remember like what's important to you about yourself and like what you're proud of about yourself so that you can always go through your life being happy no matter, because the thing is, you don't have to be in a relationship to be happy. Like Kimmel and I, just because we worked out doesn't mean we think that people need to be in relationships.
Right.
Like, I think people can be really happy without it. But if you want it, start thinking about that person that you want, like what they're like, and start like doing things in your life, taking actions that move you towards that person. You know, don't try to like obsess or dwell on other things that will keep you away from that, because it's your world and your universe you're creating. So it's like you need to manifest it in that way.
Also,
sorry, Robbie. Wow, we really got off on a tangent there.
Well, I was gonna say, don't pick somebody who's a project. Like, don't try and change somebody, especially if they don't want to be changed. Like, that's not gonna work out. I've seen it firsthand a lot.
Leslie wants to know, how do we? Thank you for the questions, you guys. By the way, Leslie wants to know, how do you see your lives changing now that you're in Bangkok and the plants are okay?
Mm-hmm. Where are we at? Where did we start at?
Right here. This is the question for Leslie right here. How do you see your lives evolving now that you're in Bangkok? Can I start with this? Can I start this one?
Please
just a little bit?
do, because you're
Kimball
better at it.
and I, in order to keep our life exciting over the course of things, we've had every 2 or 3 years, we've had a big life change. So I think like just about the point where you might feel like you're stagnating, and I don't know if we're doing this out of design or it's just happened and we're lucky, but we've had a big life change that's come, and like we've had to pull together to make something big happen. So like
It's almost like a little boost level up every time too. It's like, like it gets a little bit better for some reason. Like
we take risks that we're scared of, and like this was no exception. Like we were very scared to make this change, but also we had a lot of energy behind it, and history has shown us that when we've done that, it's paid off in the end. Mm-hmm. So I think
this one's a little different though. This was all on us. Like this was all our idea. It's something that we really wanted.
Guys.
Well, right, but I mean, this is something that we really wanted. Like there was no, like his work wasn't involved. Like there was no outside interference of any kind.
It was just literally whatever we wanted to do.
It was something that we really wanted to do, and thanks to you guys, it's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So. How do you? So our lives are definitely going to evolve because we're going to be learning a new language. We're adapting to a new culture, a new heat, food, and we're just more happy. Like even with all the stresses of like not having as much money and things like that, we feel just so much more happy because I don't have to wake up and go to work for 40 hours a week and then do all this on the side. It's just like,
and so you had so many like last minute calls, and like we made plans, and then suddenly some big thing had to be done in a day, and I'd
be working till 9 or 10, and Kimball would just be like chilling on the sofa.
Our plans would be broken,
something.
like, you know, and so that kind of, it sucked, but I understood. I wasn't angry at all because like that was our livelihood. So you know, I was like, do what you need to do. I'll be over here.
So I think that even though Kimball's sick, we're really tired at the end of the day because we're out like walking throughout these neighborhoods. It's like it's not like it was before. It's completely different. So our lives have already evolved. Mm-hmm. In fact, when we got on the plane and came here, I felt like an instant reality shift, and it took me a good 24 hours to really accept and realize what that really meant for us. And in a lot of ways it was like when we got married, because I thought that was going to be like nothing, and it was everything. So
I was like, it's just some paperwork, whatever, but it was like just reinforcing how we felt about each other, and it was nice. I
just want to say too, if you guys are watching this, like we're not doing this live stream for the purpose of like we know everything.
No.
You know what I mean? Kimball and I will never feel like we're better than anyone. We'll never feel like we have all the answers. All I want to do is like I wanted to celebrate our anniversary with you guys, and I wanted to just like spill our emotions out of how we feel about things in case it's helpful for you. If anything that's coming out of our mouths is not right for you, please just ignore it. Yeah. Like we absolutely are not the experts in life. We're just the experts in our lives. And
even then, you know.
Let me see if there's any more questions. I have a whole Q&A thing coming up too, by the way. In real life is absolutely the way to go, Nurse Adrian says. SK says, great advice. Brave Eddie says, was it worth moving to Thailand? Yes, I can say that for sure. What are you reading? Sorry, this is like the most boring part of the talk amongst yourselves, guys.
Yeah, he was like saying... he did say we should talk. That was when he thought he was going to break up with him.
Oh my god, how funny. Oh, Scott, yeah.
I have had COVID before. I don't know if I have it now. Before, it just felt like a bad cold, thank God, because I have been vaccinated and booster shot and all that stuff, so...
Shane says, it's all good if Rocky does fart, Kimball, you can't smell.
That.
My farts don't actually smell that bad. We won't get into that. Anyway, okay, I'm just seeing if there's any questions. Sorry that we're almost done. Rocky, when will you start your martial arts sessions? Trisha asks.
Oh, I like that.
What?
I was reading about...
Read it.
From Thai Ladyboy.
Oh, fun!
As you're in a Buddhist land now, just know that homosexuality is not a sin in the Buddhist point of view. There are 5 fundamental rules for being a decent human being, and don't be gay is not one of them.
By the way, I just want to say, if you haven't seen already, we had the pleasure of going to the Bangkok Pride Festival.
Oh my god, it was so much fun.
And
I mean, I know I looked tired and out of it, but that's because it was a lot for me, but it was so much fun.
It was like one of the most inspirational, affectionate, kind-hearted, wholesome, empowering events. Probably the most that we've ever been to. And to see that, I got so emotional so many times seeing the hundreds of thousands of people so happy and joyous, and there was no conflict, and it was just people celebrating life and being able to live the way they want. I don't think I've ever been so proud of like another country in my life. I feel like Thailand also legalized gay marriage recently, and to see this many people show their support, and even like all the malls, you know, like I know it's to draw people in and it's like to get commerce and stuff, but like the malls like really like went all out. Like all of them were completely decked. All the stores inside were like very celebratory, and it didn't feel...
even outside, like the streets were like literally paved with rainbows and like just huge decorations and explosions of excitement and happiness. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And just where we grew up, it wasn't celebrated that big at all. And
not that we saw, like we only went to a few prides, so like we didn't go to like New York Pride and like some of these
No, I'm just saying where we grew up.
Oh yeah, in Idaho.
Yeah, like it was very small, and like, you know, you could go to like some of the stores and they might have like a little display or something, so it was nice that they would show it and it was recognized, but it wasn't like this just huge thing. It was never... You know, it was never as exciting and beautiful as it is here. For us, like, this is the first time I've really experienced it.
Joe says, we're in our 14th year with 34 years age difference. Met when it was 19 and 53. We love to travel. Keeps us challenged. How important is travel to your relationship? By the way, congratulations. And I think that's amazing that you guys have an age gap. I think that that's really, like, amazing. And I'm just always so happy when I hear that things work out for an age gap relationship. I think there's a lot of stigma against it.
Yeah, but it's like, if you guys have the right things in common, who cares, like, as long as you're...
He likes older people, you like younger people? Hello.
Yeah.
Win-win.
But no, I was reading something and I was like, oh yeah, but now I completely forgot, whatever.
Well, Marie says, oh my god, the hair and skin is working.
Oh my god.
You guys, our skin got so much better.
Yeah, like, within like 2 days. And this is like a really random little side tangent, but
do we
like
have time for this, Kimball?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
It's
great.
live. I can go as long as I want.
Oh, great. Okay.
So my coffee mug. If you've watched Kimball's Corner, you know like
this is important. If it starts with my coffee mug, you guys know.
It's very important. So you know I have like that blue and like brownish one, right?
Yeah. Everyone knows.
So I'm drinking my coffee in the UK, and it's leaving some really hard coffee rings.
Oh, I know where
and
this
I'm
is
like,
going.
wow, maybe that's just the coffee I'm using. Nay. Because I brought that exact same coffee in the same tins over to Thailand. And of course I'm using bottled water here. There's not one stain of coffee
All
on my
Kimball
cup.
wants you to know is if you're from England, your water sucks. That's all he wants to tell you right now.
The water we had at our place was awful.
Your water sucks. Just kidding. We love you. So someone's asked, like, is travel important to us? I would say yes.
Well, I would say it's not, but it enhances a lot of things for us.
Yeah, our lives have definitely been more fulfilling.
Yeah.
And exciting.
But, like, if we didn't travel, we would still be okay.
Yeah. If we lived in a little, like, 20 square meter hut and had no money, we would still be okay technically.
I mean, let's not push it.
I'm not saying we're going to do that, but we could make it work.
But yeah,
Kimball got really nervous about this, like, if we had nothing and lived in a 20 square meter. Sorry, go ahead.
sweet.
Let me just take a little drink of water.
But
From
yeah.
my minaret.
Yeah, I wouldn't say travel is important, but it definitely adds a lot of excitement and fun because we love experiencing new things, especially together. So that, like, when we travel, obviously we get to experience all sorts of new things. And drink it, sweetie. So, but like being here on the visa that we are on, we do have to leave the country every 6 months. So
right.
Traveling is sort of part of our visa.
Yeah, so I think traveling is really important for us because, again, like I talked about how, like, we do things every once in a while to keep things from feeling stagnant, and, like, traveling is one of those things for us. Like, our first big trip out of the country was to Italy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that came at a perfect moment because we had just saved enough money to do a trip. It was the first time we had enough money to do it. And even when we lived in Portland, do you remember the first time we took an actual trip together?
Yeah, and I was like, it would be really nice if we could just do like some random getaway. And you're like, okay, let's do it right now. I was like, wait, no, that's too random.
We
But
had like
did.
an extra $400 or something, and we went to Seattle, which was like a 4-hour drive, and we stayed at like a boutique hotel. I got a deal online or something, and we stayed there for 2 days or something,
Yeah.
and we came back. That is all we could afford. But that was like the start of us being like, wow, this was so much fun.
Right.
We got so much inspiration. We saw other interior design, which we love as well. So it was like the same thing that got us to move out of Boise and down to California because we wanted to see something other than white people, to be honest. It like energized us, and it got us thinking about life in a different way. It like opened up our minds, and I think travel is really important for not just adults, but also kids, I think it's important for everyone to give you a different perspective. And I think being in Bangkok.
Okay, so yeah, going like that's for me. That's two different directions. Like,
Yeah.
I think travel is very important and very helpful in like growing as a human being. But in our relationship, it's not going to help or hinder so much because, I mean,
It'll just help keep us entertained.
it's just fun, new and exciting things to do. And like I said, we like to do like discover new things, and doing it together is much more fun than doing it alone.
Yeah, we've tried doing things on our own. Like, even when I was traveling, like doing my own thing, I was like, this is just not as fun without Kimball. Just because my whole life's based around him. But I mean, anyway, let's move on. By the way, real quick, I just wanted to point out something. So we have our Patreon channel. If you're not already aware, Patreon's basically like a membership program. So aside from our YouTube, where we kind of like put out videos, people support us on Patreon as well. We have 4 tiers. There's like a pals tier that's $3 a month. There's a friends tier that's $8, and then I just did a new one that's like a brothers and sisters that's $15, and a mom and dad one that's $20. And they all come with like different perks and stuff like that. But I just wanted to point out that there's a few folks that had signed up for the new tiers, and I wanted to just really thank you guys. Whether or not you're watching, I just wanted to thank you guys. So Ron Textera signed up for the brother and sisters tier. I felt weird putting you because you're the only one there right now, but I'm sure more people will join you. And then in the mom and dad tier, we had Michael, and oh my god, I don't know how to say it. Michael O, we'll say, Leslie Clegg, John Doige, I don't know how to say John's name, Jason Morissette, Darren, Daryl, and Chris Carnes. And we've been, as part of that tier, we schedule like one-on-one, like 30-minute meetings, basically, where we can like get to know each other and just become better friends, essentially. So we've already been able to have some sessions with these folks, and it's been really fun, honestly, to like hear about their lives, about your lives, and to get to know you better, and also to like answer any questions you guys have as well. So if anyone's thinking about like supporting, we also have a lot of respect for the fact that like people work really hard to make their money, and so I just don't want. It can be easy to watch influencers be out there like, support us, whatever, but like we want you guys to know like we understand, like we've worked really hard for all of our lives too to like make money and save it. So if you guys ever do decide to like help support us in some way and you feel like you can't do that anymore, please just don't ever feel guilty, and like just do what you need to do for you. Like we will still like love and care for you guys. Like it's nothing to do with that at all. So yeah, but also we just really want to thank these people for like helping us, because especially as we made this big transition, it was like a little bit of a comfort to know that we had just a little bit more to help us get over the line. So thank you guys very much. Jason Morissette. Sorry, Jason.
Oh, I guess there's a question there too.
Oh my gosh, man, PB. Oh, when do I get to start my martial arts session? So I'm studying Muay Thai boxing, kickboxing here in Thailand. I've already done my first session. I have the bruises to prove it, but I won't show you. And I was very proud that my instructor was more worn out than I was by the end of it. And that probably sounds bad, but anyway, he was great, and it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to go back, honestly.
Yeah.
The technique's really fun, and it's fun being taller and I'm very flexible, so like it makes it easier for me to do the moves, basically. So it didn't feel like it took long to get used to it. I need to like get used to how sore my left ankle was by kicking all the time. Anyway.
We spent a year apart because Rocky did home tour, like IKEA home tour, which was like a travel makeover show for IKEA.
Yeah.
And he was on the road the entire time, but like I could fly out I would fly out for like a week, and then I'd fly home for like 4 weeks and fly out for a week. It was a lot of back and forth. It was exhausting, but
it was hard. It was like I was with these other people who were younger, so it felt like I was living my college days that I never had. Right. It was weird. And then Kimball, as part of his therapy, he did a journal, and every day he drew a new page for me. So when I got home at Christmas time, he gave me this journal that was like every day since I had left, he had done like... I
had like 3 journals.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. We really need to share that sometime. It's just so fun. Yeah, that was really hard. We'll get into it. There's questions later, guys. Let's not talk too much about it. Let's move on, and then we'll come back. We'll come back to it. So, Kimball.
Oh, look at those.
Get over there.
Who are those babies?
Can you tell us about what's happening in this picture?
Well, that is us laying on my floor in my parents' house in my old bedroom.
That's probably one of the first images of us, actually.
It is one of the first photo shoots that we did together indoors.
Look at how much of a baby you were.
I'm sorry, your face.
Oh.
Little babies. I think we were 16 and 17, or both 16 in that picture.
Okay, so anyway, going into the first question. So I just wanted to show an image before that. So basically, was it love at first sight?
I mean, did I look at Rocky and think, that's the man I'm going to love for the rest of my life? Yes. No, not really. I mean, I was a teenager. Every attractive guy was like, oh my God, yes, you're the one. But he...
Was the craziest.
As soon as I found out he liked me back, then I was like, a what?
Game on.
Yeah, I was very excited. I remember he gave me this letter, like, explaining his feelings, and I ran into my mom's room, and I was like, oh my God, Mom, the boy I likes me back. I'm so excited. She's like, that's great, sweetie, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd already heard it all from your brothers and sisters.
So, super excited, and you're still here today. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was, I mean, it took a while to, like, really realize, like, he's the one. Mm-hmm. But, in the beginning, I was like, this is somebody I know I can have fun with, and I know I'm having a good time, and I don't want to be apart from him. So
yeah, similarly, I think it was like intrigue at first sight. It wasn't like love, because when we met in choir, we were just, it wasn't like I saw him, I was like, the man of my dreams, because I was also not out at the time, so I was like suppressing a lot of things. I didn't know myself enough. I wasn't honest enough with myself to like fall in love at first sight. I don't think, anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, very quickly we realized that it was what we wanted for ourselves, and I think in the first like maybe like 2 months, I remember having a moment where I was like, is this what love is? Like, I remember not knowing for sure, because we were so young. It was just hard to know.
Right.
And so I think as life went on, and like after the first year and stuff, then it was more like, okay, yeah, this is, I felt more confident in it. And I think that also over time, no more tangents, sorry.
Yeah, stop. Jeez.
Let me see if there's any comments. Eric said something, what I saw earlier. He's like, said something about... So it was like, so no money, no friends. No, absolutely not. And also, like, guys, if you can't, we were talking about Patreon and support. That's just because that's what we're doing this for a living now. If you guys are just watching the YouTube channel, even if you don't comment, even if you don't like the videos, if you're just watching, like that's all we could ever ask for in this world. Like, to have people who are connecting and like-minded people who are enjoying whatever we're putting out and like sharing our journey. That's like really the whole vision. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, we need to make money at it and stuff like that, and we don't do sponsorships, so like we do rely on it, but you're all special to us regardless of how much people are supporting and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't want anyone to like misconstrue this whole thing, because it's very important for us to like that and understand our true intention for doing this.
Right.
Kimball, what's this about?
Oh my God.
I know exactly where that is, by the way.
Well, that's on a tour bus.
Yeah, so we in choir, actually.
Is that coming or going to McCall?
It was going to McCall. We had like a choir retreat where it was our first time. Like,
wait. Was this the one in Utah, though?
No, that was going up to McCall.
Because I remember like we had another picture of us all in Utah, and I had like the poster of
the naked guy.
Gosh, what was his name?
I don't know.
And then...
And then the closeted gay guys on the bus were like, oh, can I see that poster again?
He's like, what was that poster you got? I was like, this one? It was Byron. That was his name.
Byron, anyway.
Yeah. Oh my God, that poster of the guy was so hot.
But yeah, this was on the way to like a choir retreat thing that we did anyway. And we got to bunk in the same room, I think, right? Or no?
Not on the choir retreat, but when we went to Utah, yes.
Our choir teacher was so amazing because he knew Kimball and I were together. He's like, Kimball and Rocky can have a room together. I was like...
Yeah, and then... Closeted guy had his own room, and he's like, oh, I don't want to be alone. So then he got put in our room too. But
then he left for the day, and we locked the door and did lots of stuff. Anyway,
but we didn't realize that he didn't actually leave. He was just down in the lobby.
Yeah,
and he could have come in at any time.
It would have been a really interesting situation. On the edge. Good thing there were no smartphones back then. Who made the first move?
I mean, I made like an offhand comment about wanting to kiss Rocky's Adam's
Kimball
apple.
Definitely made the first move.
I made it very loud too.
Kimball was like, he is introverted as you guys might think he is. Like. In high school, he was like... all the jocks loved Kimball.
No, that's not true.
Well, they liked him way more than they liked me.
Not all of them.
But, like, Kimball was very much, like, confident and, like... Or seemingly. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't, but, like, he was outwardly very confident. And
I think that once I came out, people stopped harassing me about being gay. Which is weird, but...
Yeah, totally. But, yeah, Kimball made the first move. He asked me for a ride home one day.
Yeah, I overheard Rocky telling people, like, oh, yeah, if anyone wants to ride home, just, like, ask me. Like, I totally love driving around. It's fine, whatever. So I'm always, like, and I was just like, oh, God, like, oh, I can do it. Oh, shit. And I was like, hey, I overheard you telling people that you could give people a ride home. Like, would you mind giving me a ride home after work or after school today? He's like, sure, where do you live? I'm like, blah, 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 I live over here. And he's like, that's, like, the opposite direction of where I live, so probably not. And I was like, okay. I was like, goodbye.
I needed to know how you dealt with rejection.
Well,
okay.
Very well, apparently.
Don't think I'm a dick, but I was. I was just scared. Okay, so Kimball, this is like when we first lived in North Hollywood, I think. Yeah, that hair is definitely like
oh
after
my
we
God,
moved to LA.
that was like, wow, that was like Jamie was still there because we were moving into our apartment.
Yeah, so Kimball and I, when we left at like 17 or whatever to live in LA, this was...
I used to live with bandanas on my head, a white t-shirt, and jeans.
You put a bandana on the other day, and I was like, this is like way too like 18-year-old Kimball. I don't know. It's fine. You do you, boo, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, so that picture going into this question, what's the weirdest date you've ever been on?
Would you say we've dated? Like we didn't
Not really.
We didn't really go on dates. We did go to see Charlie's Angels, and then as we were leaving, we're like, should we watch it again? And we got the tickets and went and watched it again.
That was the best date ever.
That was fun. We did go on a double date, and your car got towed.
Where was that at? Who was it with?
It wasn't really a double date, I guess. It was with Ben and his roommate. Was it Alicia?
At
the coffee house.
Yeah, oh my God.
And we had to walk somewhere in West Hollywood to find your car.
I have repressed that memory.
Oh,
I was going to say, do you remember when we first started dating and I was writing you, I think, online and I pretended to be someone else?
Mary Jo was involved.
Yeah.
And she was like, somebody from like your elementary school like wants to get in touch with you and like go meet over at like the Moxie Java at Edwards. Like, and I was like, okay. I was like, this sounds all very fishy. And I'm like, because it was weird, because I'm like, why would they have contacted Mary Jo? Because I didn't know her in elementary school. So it's very strange. And I'm like, this is Rocky. I know it is. So I dressed up just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Did you really know it was me?
Yeah, who the hell else would it have been? Like, I don't know.
Well, anyway, so that was probably the weirdest date I ever took Kimball on, is I pretended to be someone else, and I met him there as myself, and was like, surprise, it's boring old me.
I was like, oh, okay. So back to my house? All right. Yeah, we didn't really go on dates. That's kind of weird. Like, we really don't... we go out all the time, so I wouldn't call those dates. I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Kimball, what's happening there? Get over there. No, you don't have to move.
You had me sit center. That is in front of the garage to the front house that we lived behind in the back house in Burbank, California.
If that doesn't explain it.
245 East Cedar Avenue.
So in Burbank, California, right down the street from where the IKEA is on Cedar Avenue.
The big brand new IKEA.
We lived in a back house, and that was our first like house that we rented together, aside from like flats.
$800 a month, and we had our roommate Jake. He was lovely.
And those were the days when our friend Julie lived right next door in the apartment complex, just randomly. She lived there before we moved in, and just happened to be there. And so she would come in when she had too much to drink and would fall asleep on our floor and stuff like that. We lived on an air mattress because we were so poor, and we would wake up on the floor every night.
Yeah,
because
it would deflate. It had little holes in it from our kitties. So it would slowly deflate overnight.
And we could see through the house out of the wood paneling into the outside. And it had black widows in it anyway.
It's just like fun because like at the time you're just like, whatever, this is our life right now.
We were young.
Looking back though, it's kind of like romantic, like those growing moments that you have with your friends.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know.
No, it is though. It is.
Yeah, because like now I would never ever live in that house.
But it's like it's a funny memory.
Right.
Our friend Heather came down at one point and she needed a place to stay, so she stayed with Jake in that little tiny room. I don't know what was happening.
It was all good times.
Yeah, it was good. We were young and crazy. Anyway, was it hard to move in together? That's why I posted that.
Oh, not really.
Kimball already touched on this a bit because we had lived together already.
Right, like he stayed at my house for about a year.
And the story behind that was like I was giving him rides to school and I was on the opposite side of town, so I just kept calling my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm just going to give Kimball a ride. And I had spent about 8 months at his house and didn't realize that I hadn't been home.
Yeah.
And then I got sick and like they brought me home from the hospital and I was in my bed.
He's like, is this my room?
I was like, I haven't slept in this bed in 8 months. And I think it probably helped when I left for California because I hadn't been there anyway. So I think my mom got used to the fact
she was kind of doing a little mental / physical preparation for you to not be there
Maybe.
anymore.
If mom's watching, let me know.
Yeah, we don't know. But I mean, still, we did have, like, that was when we really had to start compromising, because Rocky would stay in my room where everything was mine and blah, blah, blah. So when he brought all of his stuff and all my stuff together into, like, one space, we had to figure out, like, do we really need 3 desks or like 2 desks and a drawing table? And, like, you know, we had a lot of extra crap.
All Kimball is saying is he had to put up with me. My sense of design back then was like 3 X-Files posters, and Kimball had to live with those up on the wall right in front of us in that little studio apartment.
They were so beautiful. Like, but I mean, yeah, we didn't know how to decorate back then. It was ridiculous.
No, it wasn't that hard. It was something we were really excited about because it was a huge life change. Again, we were moving to a new city.
Yeah.
We were like learning all sorts of stuff, and I was like potentially doing acting and modeling or whatever. So it was like all very exciting, scary.
But we also had friends there, like,
Yeah,
that.
a lot of friends from Boise were down there too. So we were all like traveling together.
And then it's like we made more friends through like Rocky's agency and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Like, it was really, really good memories. We were only there for like, I think 6 or 8 months. And we realized we were like, okay, we did this a little too fast. And we moved back to Boise. We didn't move back into our parents' home. We moved into our place with his sister. And that started a whole new chapter in our lives.
Let's move on to the next part. Who's that, Kimball? That's just another picture of us.
Yeah, that's us. Just.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry. Were we just talking that whole time? Sorry.
Oh God, when did it? Oh God, maybe like right there is where it started.
Sorry.
But is it back?
It's back now. It just was that one was missing sound.
Okay, so when did it cut out?
It cut it off. So, ever think about leaving? So, did you ever think about leaving
I'm
him?
still seeing those. Oh, sound is back. Okay.
It's fine. My God, thank you for letting us know, guys. Did you ever think about leaving me? Let's talk about that real quick.
I'm so glad we could start over with this question. Yes, but not because I wanted to, but because other people told me I was bad for Rocky, and I thought maybe they were right, so maybe I should break up with him and let him find this perfect person out there that's just absolutely amazing for him. Well, he found him. Okay. You know, it was, yeah, and then when I told him that, it was very emotional, and he was like, I wanted to ask you to marry me, and I was like, oh my God. So it was amazing, but he didn't officially ask me at that time. He was just like, I want to marry you someday, and yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sorry, the sound was gone. Okay, so I'll just keep these headphones on just in case.
Oh, that picture was when we were traveling. Well, you were doing the home tour thing.
Yeah.
It's a hotel room. I think that was the one where my flight kept getting delayed, and I was there for like an extra like a week or something.
Oh my God, it's so weird listening to like the weird delay. It sounds like I'm in some weird like hall anyway.
It's very exciting for you.
So, have you ever cheated on each other, Kimball? This is the question everyone didn't know they wanted to know.
Yes. But you knew this.
Go ahead. Tell everyone.
Do I really want to get it? It was it was the exact same time when everyone was telling me I was bad for Rocky, so I was trying to sabotage a relationship, and I didn't go like looking for somebody. It wasn't we didn't sleep together or anything, but we were playing a game which has sexual acts, and then I did one of them, and then I was like, yo. And that was basically it. And like Rocky already knew this. Like it's.
But the funny thing is about Kimball and I's relationship is like Kimball could literally do anything, and I'd be like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need emotional support?
Are you okay? What?
Like he could sleep with like a dozen guys, and I'd be like, "Are you okay? Like, do you want to talk about it? Like, whatever." If I did that, Kimball is not on the same page.
I'm more okay now.
Right, but like
See, it's ridiculous because in the beginning of our relationship, I was very insecure because Rocky's a little hot body, right? Like, and a lot of people made it very clear that they wanted to be with him when we moved to West Hollywood, or when we worked in West Hollywood. And so I became pretty insecure because I was like, oh my God, he could literally have any of these like hot businessmen that like could give him this, like, he could have like 20 sugar daddies, right? So like that was going on. So I was pretty insecure, and I'm like, yeah, over time, like I did bring it up to him, and obviously we got past that.
Sorry, go ahead. Keep talking.
Like,
no, keep talking. I'm just making sure that... Sorry, I'm like... I should have got my monocle out to read questions.
So it's like I didn't cheat on him in the sense that I was trying to sabotage our relationship to give him a reason to break up with my ass and go find the perfect man. So
did you have fun at all when you did it, at least?
You know who it was with, right?
Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't...
Yeah, no.
Daniel's like, wow, this just got really honest.
I mean...
But you were like 18 or something at the time, right?
Yeah.
That was like... This was 26 years ago, or 25 years ago we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it... To me, I was like... I just wanted to make sure Kimball was okay in the end, because like... To me... Like, let's just talk about like our feelings on this. I'll just make sure that the audio's still on. To me, like, sexuality is a very interesting thing. I think it can be a make or break for a lot of relationships. To me, I think it's really important for people to like express themes that they have within themselves and like things they want to, but if they really want to be in a relationship and the partner's not okay with that, it's like something you need to accept. Like, it's something you need to be okay with and like discuss. So I think you just need to like have open conversations about these things, basically, with the person you love. And if the person you love is like, hey, I want to like explore something and try something, and you are like, okay, well, you just need to agree and like not be devious about it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, you should talk about it and like agree on what's acceptable for your relationship. We're not the experts on that.
We are not.
So that is up to you guys, but that's just our advice, is always to be like as honest as you can.
Yeah.
Kimball, I don't even remember where that was.
So that is in Laurelhurst by the Fred Meyer.
So that's in Portland somewhere. Anyway, we'll move past that one. I put a few pictures in to break up the intense conversations we were having. Do we still have audio? Yeah? Can we hear it?
Okay, great.
Who's more possessive? Kimball has a lot of possessions. I don't feel like I'm possessive at all.
I would, I'd probably say me.
But are you possessive, or do you think you used to be?
I think I used to. I mean, more so, definitely. But like, I think we're protective more than we're possessive now. I think early on in relationships, that's probably where being possessive comes in. I think it has a lot to do with trust, because I trust Rocky to go off and do whatever. So like, if like someone's getting all up on him, it's okay as long as they don't go too far. And if Rocky lets them, then that kind of makes me like, what's going on there? Yeah. But like, I trust him to know that nothing's gonna happen.
Right, exactly.
So, I don't know. It's kind of like the thing when I see, like, it's like when somebody comes home and catches their partner cheating on them and they attack the person. I'm like, why wouldn't you get pissed off at your partner? Like, that person may have had no idea that they were with
totally.
Somebody. You know, I don't know where that came from, but like, I always think that's just
totally.
Weird. Totally.
I think that was in Portland.
It is in Portland. No, that's in Seattle.
Was it?
Yeah, it was during home tour, and we just got to walk around like a flower.
Did we see a concert together?
It was just outside. There was a lot of stuff happening.
Okay, anyway, there was a lot of stuff. Like our whole lives, there was a lot of stuff happening. By the way, I'm so sorry. If you guys could see the setup we have right now, I didn't even like announce the elephant in the room. We were gonna have like this open with like the city behind us, and it just everything looked shitty because we don't have any of our lighting. So there's literally like one of those like Pixar desk lamps just like up
shining
on a
right
shelf,
at me,
precariously hanging dangerously off the edge. It could fall at any moment. So it's all very like Rocky and Kimball, the whole thing.
Also, all the lights that we plug in here kind of flicker, so that's exciting.
Is it cheating when you tell the other?
Yes, but it's honest that you told the other.
I think it's like cheating if you do it deviously without telling the person. Personally, we haven't really talked about this before.
I mean, I'm not like a hard but you know, it's kind of like I think it is worse if you keep it to yourself. I think that's worse for the for everybody involved, because you're just gonna think about it, and what if they knew and you didn't tell them, and like they're just gonna be like, I know this person did this. They can do it again. you
Yeah.
know? So it's,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, though.
Question: when did the idea? This is from a Thai lady boy. It says, when did the idea of moving to Bangkok pop up? During or after your last trip? Whose idea was it? Did someone need convincing?
Okay, so it all goes back to 2018.
It all goes back to mother.
No, it's been a long time coming. We have been wanting to visit Bangkok for a very long time. It started off, we were watching
Love by Chance.
Love by Chance.
This was like 8 years ago or something.
Right. Love by Chance was kind of like the first BL show that I'd ever watched. And I was obsessed because as a kid, I didn't have these shows where people in high school and college students, and like obviously they have like office romances and stuff too for them, but like being younger, I was like, oh my God, like it would have been so nice to see this on TV when I was that age going through it. So I was watching it. It was like so lovely seeing all these people falling in love at the first time, because it reminded me of like falling in love at the first time.
Totally.
Those are such good feelings.
Kimmel and I love it when we can see younger people able to like fall in love and be themselves. That's why Pride was such a big deal to us.
Well, and like when we watched, like whenever I saw a gay character on a show growing up, I hated it because no, they made.
I mean, be honest.
Well, they made such a big deal, and it always had to do with AIDS, or it had to do with like you need to have safe sex, or it was always like these big, huge moral stories, and I'm like, but then there's like the straight couples just going off doing it with anyone and everyone, and I'm like, why do they have to make like it's almost like they villainized the gay character in everything I watched, and I hated that. So seeing like this BL, like I was like, oh my God, it is so refreshing, and that opened up a whole new world. Like we
just saw a new culture because we didn't really know much about Thailand before that, so we were like seeing you know, like kids going to school and like going to college and like working and stuff like that, and even though it's a show, like we know it's a show, we get it,
right. Well, and I can still relate because like when the kids have to tell their parents, you know, they cry and they're like, are you ashamed of me? And I'm just like, oh my God, I love you so much.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like they, you know, so we have that in common.
And also seeing parents on those shows be accepting of their kids is like really empowering, and
not all of them, by the way. Like,
right.
There are some where the parents not so much, but like it is refreshing that like that's there for people now, because as a kid I felt very alone, even though I had gay siblings. Like it was still scary for whatever reason. But yeah, so that started the whole watching the BLs and like kind of like our introduction to Thailand, just very small. But then, like, I started watching, the people were talking about, like, condo tours and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, because I knew nothing about Thailand. And then I started seeing, like, people showing these, like, luxurious condos, and I'm like, that's really beautiful, but that's, I mean, you know, I don't really want to live a luxurious lifestyle.
Kimmel and I aren't very, like, luxurious people.
Right, I mean, don't mind me, it's nice, but it's, like, it's not my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But when they were like, oh, you can have, like, paid this much, and I was like, oh my God, we're paying twice as much for this dump. Like,
yeah.
You know, but, you know, and so it was always just like, oh, it'd be fun, like, oh, just thinking about it. But then we were like, you know, we could plan a trip, but while we lived in the States, it was such
a long journey and so much money, so we couldn't do it.
So we were just like, you know, that we would have to save up for a very long time to be able to afford it. But then...
Let's, like, move faster, sorry.
Well, take it away.
Okay, sorry. So I don't. Kimball would say this perfectly. It's just we're running a little short on time. So basically, long story short, we came to Thailand. We didn't realize how much we were going to love it, but I mean, the cafe culture, the temperature, the kindness of the people, the beauty of the country. Yes, it's not perfect, but like no country's perfect. So right. I think that there's cats everywhere. Like I don't know, there's just like
apparently it's perfect for us.
Like we love shopping and like window shopping. There's just like endless things to explore here. And I also love that it's not perfect. I love that there's a lot happening and how it's ever changing and evolving.
And it's very well connected, so you can just hop on any of the transportation and get anywhere in the city. It's lovely.
But the main thing is, like, Kimball and I realized when we were living in England, for instance, we spent like $36,000 just living in
that was just the rent.
Years.
That was just the rent.
So like the fact that I was like, wait, we can like live somewhere and have a better quality of life with like more accepting people and not feel like we're in danger of getting shot.
Right.
Or stabbed. Like,
and I would say that moving to Bangkok was both in our minds, but I was the one that was kind of like, when we were here last time, we were in a cafe, and I'm like, so when are we moving here? Like, and I know we're both thinking about it.
And I remember I looked down, I was like, oh my God, I don't even know. And I looked up to my left, and there was this picture on the wall right next to us of Aylesbury Vale. And
which is the city we lived in currently.
And it wasn't just the city we lived in, it was like the old town-centered church, like right next to our house. And I remember thinking, well, if the universe isn't trying to like help guide us, I don't know what is.
Right. And when we got here, we met someone who also has like a very weird connection to. Well, I just like to find little things, you know.
We just try to listen to the universe, and I definitely, whether you believe it or not, there's been some really weird things that have happened to Kimball and I that are like way beyond coincidences when we have transformative life things happening. And when we're both, even if we don't tell each other, we in our minds are like, oh my gosh, we need a sign from the universe, or like we need something to help guide us, and like something does, and it is guiding us for sure, and continues to this day. So I mean,
and needless to say, neither of us needed convincing. We just needed to figure out how to get here,
right?
Like how to make it feasible, how we were going to do it. Like,
and I can tell you with 100% confidence, it was absolutely the right decision.
Oh, yeah.
We're only a weekend, obviously, but it's definitely the right decision. And now we have a lot of work to do to figure out how to make this channel grow and sustain what we're doing. Because, you know, we have like a good following of like 6,300 people or whatever, but like now is the job that we have to like really grow this and make it a thing. Because we went from having a corporate salary to like nothing. So it's like now we need to like do the work. Aside from like acclimating to this, we have to like do this business in a way, but it's a business where we are doing something we truly love because we're like connecting. You know what I mean? We're as much
now
as it's going
waffling on.
As much as it's going to be, you're right. As much as it's a business, like we will always treat it as a friendship. And even as we're looking at this like camera on this weird stand, like I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing all of you.
Well, yeah, because we do actually make connections with a lot of you. Like we do chat with you, so it's.
I want to meet everyone. I don't care how everyone feels.
It's
I know
just
everyone.
Take some time.
I that would be amazing. Anyway, moving on. Let's keep going. Sorry. Hardest moment in your relationship. Is the sound on? Every time we do something, I'm like, sound on? Yeah, it's on.
The hardest moment in our relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe at Ash Street when I was really insecure. That I talked about it earlier. Rocky was out having a lot of fun with some new friends, and
oh yeah, totally.
Like I just felt really left out, and like he was having so much fun, and I could see like how much fun he was having without me is how I saw it. And I was just like, do I need to like go away so that he'll want to come and see me rather than go out and have fun all the time? And it was this weird mental thing. So I brought it up to him, and yeah, it was very much inside my own head, and that's one of those like I should have just talked with him right away, and it was not an easy conversation by any means.
Yeah. And I think at that time too, like Kimball was feeling a certain number of way, but I realized I needed to express certain things within myself, and I wasn't going to like stop doing that just for Kimball all the time, because I needed also to live my life too. So I made it was hard, but I was like, I'm gonna go out and like I knew Kimball wouldn't like be comfortable with it, but I was like, I need to do it for me. So I was like, I'm gonna go out and hang with this person. You just have to trust me, whatever. And like nothing happened.
Well, yeah, it was hard because I knew the person he was hanging out with really liked him, and like I knew nothing was going to happen, but I knew nothing was going to happen on Rocky's side, but I didn't know how handsy the other person was going to get, and he was good. It was just
and we're still really good friends to this day. Like all of us are very good friends. So
I even talked with him, and I apologized because I was like in my head, like I kept building up this thing, and I was almost villainizing you, and I'm really sorry, and.
Yeah, like it's just good to be
friends.
honest. Whatever, like we're all humans. Like it's totally fine to be whatever. I was gonna say the hardest moment. I remember at one point, maybe not the hardest, but one of the hardest. So I remember we were living in California in that place with Jamie, and you were saying something about wanting to get your own apartment or something because we were feeling disconnected, and I can't remember.
That was Ash Street. That's what I was just talking about.
No, it wasn't Ash Street. It was in it was in California because you had your own bedroom. Remember that? You had your like den.
Oh, in the Grand.
Yeah, in the Grand, and I think you were feeling like you wanted separation then, and I can't remember the full context for it, but I remember feeling like that I was really sad about that.
I don't know. I mean, we ended up in that room together after like a month anyway.
Right.
If even that long, I don't know.
But I think you just wanted like.
I probably just wanted my own space.
Right.
Again, and then it's.
Because we hadn't had that before, because we were living in like the same bedroom all the time.
Right,
so
we had a studio, and then we had a bedroom,
But I was internalizing it as like Kimball doesn't like me anymore. He's not he wants to be away from me, and so I was really sad. Even like sometimes to this day, Kimball's like, we need our own bedrooms, and like I get it because
it's not that I want to be separated, but it's because we have different sleeping schedules.
Right. But it's still like for some reason in my head because like my grandparents slept in separate bedrooms and all this stuff, so I associate that with like you don't love the person anymore, and it's not Kimball's thing at all. It's just all on me because how it's conditioned.
Well, and for me, it's just like I don't sleep well. Like if he comes in if I fall asleep for like 2 hours and then he wakes me up coming to bed, I'm awake for hours. And I'm an early person, like an early riser. So if I wake up at 6 a.m., I still wake up at 6 a.m. even if I go to bed at like midnight or 1.
Yeah. But I think the whole the other thing too about like me leaving corporate life and stuff like that too is like now I have more time. I don't need to stay up late getting things done, so I can just come to bed.
But do you?
Well, we will.
you?
Like right now, life's chaotic, but we will.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's always a work in progress.
Kimball, who's that?
That's our wedding.
Or is our audio still on?
That's our wedding.
Okay, sorry. By the way, if you guys have to run, I am reading comments as we go. So if you guys have to run, thank you guys so much for joining, by the way. We're just going to keep chatting on. If anyone wants to like come in, go, do whatever you need to do.
Oh, yes, sorry. BL stands for boy love.
Yes.
I mean, it was already answered, so thank you for answering that.
Keep going, sorry. That picture.
Oh, that's our wedding taken in a prop shop in a huge warehouse in Burbank, California. And it was so us. Like, it was so fantastic. And I have a picture of our friend Nick at the wedding, and he's like looking, like we're off in the background, and he's just looking at the camera like, what are these two doing?
Yeah.
And it's like one of my favorite pictures. But
Reg was asking how we've grown together and individually through the years. We actually answered that earlier. Mm-hmm. So when we're done with this, if you want to go back and watch, there's a whole section.
Yeah.
It's a good question though. Zizzle says, I don't think we talked to Zizzle before. I love your channel and relationships. So now, since you guys moved to Bangkok, any plan to travel to the countries nearby Thailand? Are you from? Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I said earlier, like part of our visa is we have to leave the country every 6 months and come back. So we thought that's a really great opportunity to...
It's going to force us to explore.
Right. I mean, we could do an extension, but why do that when we could just explore new countries?
Go to Cambodia, go to Laos, go to Vietnam,
Singapore, Japan, yeah. South Korea. We may or may not make it to Australia. No promises, because that's still quite a big trip.
It all depends on how expensive the places we're buying, because just so everyone has context, and there will be full videos about like all this stuff coming up, just so you're aware. And also there's going to be a full Patreon video of our first full week coming out in the next 2 days. So if you guys want to know all the details about everything we did in the first week, that's going to be on Patreon in the next couple days. It's
if you want to see my face on a crowded train.
It's a very interesting video. Anyway, yeah, so depending on how much we spend on a place, that will dictate the types of trips that we do. So if we end up putting more into a place, it will mean we have less savings to be able to do that.
Take a train or rent a car and just do like a little border run, spend a couple of nights somewhere.
If we can find a really good deal on a place and still have enough savings that we feel comfortable spending it on traveling, we'll do bigger things, basically.
Right. And we haven't looked into like travel costs here yet. A lot of people are saying that flights are very affordable. So, you know, it might be really affordable for us. So who knows?
Tristan says, hey guys, Tristan from California checking in. My husband and I watch your channel.
Hi.
Yay. Janet asks how long we have to leave every 6 months.
We could literally like drive across the border and back. It's just they want to restamp your passport.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure why. I've never really figured out why that needs to happen, because every 90 days we have to do a check-in with immigration anyway, and letting them know where we're at, just so they can keep tabs on us. But
okay, we're gonna keep going. We're almost done with our questions here. Who controls the relationship? I think it's a weird question, but I think it's worth asking.
I think
you guys might be curious about this.
Earlier I was like, am I manipulative? Because I had made all these suggestions throughout the years that led us to this point, which is very weird. But I think I control it emotionally, whereas Rocky controls it like
I control the physical manifestation of things.
Like, you got money.
Gotcha.
But no, like, obviously this wouldn't have happened without your job. Let's be real. Like, the money you made and like the money that we saved, it's just...
Yeah. I'm a very action-oriented person, and I have to stay busy and I have to work, so
Yeah, he tried not working, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I can't. You guys, I don't know what's going to happen if I try to retire. I just don't see that going well. I feel like it's Jack Nicholson, that movie where he retires and anyway. You all know the one. But basically, I like working and staying busy, and I love being creative, so, I am really obsessed with the creative process in all forms, so I love writing music and doing albums. So that was
who
really the
controls
first
the
thing.
relationship?
Yeah, good question. Sorry.
Let's stay on.
I think that at this point, none of
Oh
us
my God,
control it.
don't
I think that we both like co-create our reality together in a lot of ways.
Why does that look weird? There's like a weird shadow on my
No,
leg.
just like take it all the way down. Just all the way down.
It's
Kimball.
not even that side.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see it.
It's weird. I don't like it.
No one controls our relationship except for both of us. I think.
Right. I mean, none of us make huge decisions alone.
Yeah, so I think that we are very opposites. We've talked about this in a previous vlog, but we're very, like, in our core, we're very different people. In the things that matter in our lives, like things that we enjoy doing and stuff like that, we share.
Yeah.
So, but our personalities are very different. The things we like are very similar. The things that we are very different. So, like, I'm very extroverted. He's very introverted, for instance. So I think that when we came into each other's orbits, I think that, like, we'd pass each other. You know what I mean? And I think that we did a very long orbit around each other and then eventually came back. And I think that the more time goes by, the more we're just circling around each other at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that who we are is very much indicative of each other. And I think that there is no Kimball without me and there's no me without Kimball. So when you guys watch these vlogs and you're seeing us interact, it's never forced, it's never fake, it's never anything else than like who we are. So what you're seeing is the manifestation of us and how much time we've spent together. So yes, we are very comfortable with each other and like we can poke fun at each other and we don't have to worry about the other one getting offended for the most part. You know what I mean? Like we know we're very aware of how far we can push things, and we're very in tune with each other's feelings and emotional states, so that if we're out filming and I can sense that Kimball's like really over whatever we're doing, I will stop whatever we're doing and like we'll tend to that.
Right.
And you know, if Kimball senses that I'm sad or stressed, he will take action on that too. So it's like we don't even have to talk about things anymore at that point. We just like know what to do.
Right.
So I think that just comes with time, and I think that it's nothing you should expect in a relationship right away. I think that's way too much pressure on the other person, not on yourself. I think that if you want something, I think the thing that I get worried about with doing a video like this is I think people will be like, give me the tips I need and the tools I need to have the relationship you have. You need time. Like, you need to put in the years in order to get there. I just can't imagine jumping into a relationship and having this right away.
Right, yeah. It took years to get to where we're at, and we went through a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And you just need the experience and the reward of those experiences and, like, fighting through things together and, like...
Right. You have to decide, like, we both decided that, like, we're not going to go through we're going to go through this life together. Like, we both decided, like, if our relationship's going to end, it's going to be on the other person, and so that just, obviously, is never going to happen.
Yeah.
So...
That's true. We did do that.
Yeah.
There's the picture. I just threw this in because Kimball loves this picture. I also love it too.
I think it's hilarious.
One of our closest friends, Nick, this is at our wedding, and
such a good
my
picture.
Sister took this picture of him, and I don't know why. It's just like the funniest picture. We got married in a prop warehouse, by the way. So this guy Frank Woods, it was in Burbank, California, and we couldn't. Kimball and I had not even 2 cents to our name at the time. My sister paid for our flights.
Yeah, we had a lot of our friends really came through for us on this one.
Our friend Melissa let us stay at her house in Santa Clarita.
Our friend Julie gave us a place to have like a little reception and like cake and friends over, and
so like all of our friends basically pulled together and were like, Rocky and Kimball are getting married, we're gonna make something of it. And Kimball and I were just like happy to get married at all. We were just like, it was right when they legalized it, and so we were staying in this like 105-degree house in the Santa Clarita. There's no heat with this rabid like Chihuahua.
No yeah.
Anyway, long story short, this is the best picture we have of our wedding. Is Nick.
It was a good one.
This is the last question we have, okay, to answer.
27 years of your relationship. I want more of this. I mean, I don't know. I don't need more. I just want more of you, more of us, more of this.
I want more time for ourselves to do the things we want, just like we're doing now. I want more of this for sure.
Yeah, because like we had this in the beginning, and then. I mean, you really, like, we needed to work, and you were, look at
the beginning. Oh, look at the beginning. That's the picture that outed me, by the way. Good times.
Who is that lady? Who's that girl that Rocky's kissing in the stairwell?
Okay, so more of this. That's the end of that question. Okay. Yeah. By the way, before I get into any more comments, I just wanted to recognize a few people. Okay, so top comments. I just noticed this on YouTube because I have a lot of analytics pages, and I just was scrolling through, and it was like, here's all your top commenters, and I was very surprised by a few of these. It's like how many times someone's commented. Now, keep in mind, we have 129 videos on the channel, okay? So out of 129, how many comments could you possibly have? Let's find out together. So, starting off.
I'm reading through some of the comments while you're...
Okay, if there's any that you really want to talk about, we can. Top, I'm going to go in order, like I did the top 8 or whatever, and it's going to go down and get more and more. Here we go.
Real quick, my art probably will be somewhat influenced by Thailand. Carry on.
Definitely will be. John Blanchard, 80 comments. Ooh. I feel like if I had a laugh track, I would click it. Okay, next one. Eric, and I cannot say his name even though I've met him in person, but hey ho. 104 comments.
The house hunt is going well.
Joshy boy, 108 comments. By the way, I know all of you guys, like all the people that comment, like I don't ever do canned responses. I literally handwrite every single response. So just in case you ever feel like I'm like phoning it in, I swear I'm like literally writing all of you guys back. And that's really important to me.
There's a comment about Thailand being cheaper to live in.
Yeah.
I would say that it depends on where you live. It depends on where you shop. Like,
we're going to do a whole video on this, by the way.
Yeah, groceries, pretty much the same as anywhere else in the world that I've noticed so far.
And you can definitely spend a lot eating out.
Yeah, like you can, like street food is definitely more affordable, but you could also go to a Western restaurant and pay just what you're going to pay in the States. Starbucks is the same price anywhere else in the world.
But the coffee's way better.
Yeah, for some reason. We don't know why. And yeah, like you could pay $300 to live in a studio, or you could pay $2,000 to live in a 2-bedroom. So I don't know.
It's still not good.
But yeah, it just depends on your lifestyle, really. Thailand can be cheap or it can be very expensive. Up to you.
Cheap, expensive. All right, Anthony Line, 110.
Oh, I feel like I'm in like Cub Scouts again, like round of applause.
Oh my God, we did that too. Is that like a thing in Scouts?
Probably, I don't know.
A Scout is trustworthy.
I don't know.
Loyal.
I'm gonna read some more comments.
Helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Okay, Mike Nelson, 116. Now, by the way, Mike and I have a very special relationship.
It almost sounded like Mike and Ike.
Mike only chats with me in emojis. Mike, if you're on the live stream.
It's very emotional.
Let us know. But Mike is known as Little Mouse. I'm just going to leave it at that. PB Ware, 131.
Very nice, very nice.
Are you ready? We're down to the last 2 that I have on here. So these are the top 2 commenters. So you guys may think that you are the top. What just happened?
I don't know. Balloons.
Praise
them.
Great.
We
Hearts.
balloons.
Can we do hearts?
I don't know.
Oh my God. We could have had all this fun all this time. Can we do fireworks? Oh. Okay, here we go.
Late to the party.
Trisha Brown. Woo. Of course, Trisha's up there. 136.
Yes, girl.
Trisha's been following since Kimball had his channel, right? Like back in the day.
Yeah.
Are you ready? This is the top commenter. Do you know who you are? Joseph Tadlock, 156 comments out of 129 videos. So anyway, I thought it was really fun when I saw that, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And then we're not ending right now. I just wanted to also call out, if you didn't know and you're enjoying our channel and stuff like that, Kimball has his own YouTube channel.
That's true, I do.
And we literally do an hour live stream, if not more, every single Sunday.
It's basically this. Little less serious. Drawing. Still keep it PG. We keep it a little more PG over there. A little more child friendly, just in case they want to bring their kids on to do some artwork. But yeah, it's just me, and you'll see I'll be drawing and coloring. Yeah, with chat. Sorry, I'm looking at some more comments.
PB says, "Who is this PB Ware? Should I change my name?" Tom says, "Happy anniversary." John says, "I wish I'd known it was a competition." It's definitely not a competition, but it made me giggle, and and also, I don't even know. Also, you guys are awesome. To end the whole portion of the video where we're talking seriously about all these things, someone sent me on Facebook today a quote which I thought was really relevant, and I wanted to share it. So it's, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. And so I think that this is really poignant, whether you're in a relationship or not. I just think everything that Kimball and I try to express and be is ourselves, and we always want that for other people. So I think as long as you're doing that and you're living life the way you want to, or if you're not, finding a way to do that, finding support systems will allow you to do that is important, because Mae West knew what she was talking about. I mean, maybe we do get more than one life. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, who knows? There's so many comments to like just...
Okay, Kimball, which comments do you want to read here?
Well, no, I mean, like, there's so many more to read through that, like...
The setup is I'm holding the computer, just so you guys know, and this is how we're reading the comments.
The setup is Kimball's legs are like, ow.
Here, you can... Well, I'll just move the camera so you can do whatever you want. There you go.
No, it's fine. I've been sitting cross-legged for so long. Can I fly you both to Atlanta for Pride? Oh my god, Atlanta's too far.
Wait, where's that?
It's very top. Question.
Oh, Robbie. No one needs to pay for us to go anywhere.
Yeah, true.
But if you guys have a place for us to stay,
thank you.
We would consider that.
Well
Jonathan says, there's no me without Kimball. There's no Kimball without me. That's how it's supposed to be. Well said, Rocky. Oh. Big Goose Adventure says, I think people give up too easily. That's why most people can't last since 27 years. I think I agree with that, too. I think that's a real... It's not that we need to agree or disagree. I think that's a good conversation, because I think that people feel that they know who they are and what they want, but they're not willing to move at all for the other person. I think if you're not willing to negotiate or compromise, you're not a relationship person.
Right, and I agree with that, like the continued statement of like people picture how this relationship should work and they fantasize how it should be, and if it's not, then they're not happy with it.
And I think that's why it's hard to like have a fantasy person or a fantasy relationship. It's like nothing's ever going to live up to a fantasy, because reality is completely different. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's fun to have fantasies. It's fun to have like people you love and like crush on, whatever. But it's like the reality of a relationship is completely different. Like,
yeah,
who you are in that relationship is completely different. Silence. We're just stunned by all the comments.
There's just so much to read now.
I feel so bad, because doing these live streams is so difficult to read all the comments, and I've seen how many people have been commenting, and so I am going to go back and read them all, but I just feel bad that I can't like keep up with them in the moment.
Oh, so me about being an introvert and doing a YouTube channel, it's weird. Okay, so doing Kimball's Corner, I still get really nervous doing live streams.
You guys, he literally, it's like a doctor's appointment. His heart rate goes up, his hands get clammy. What's happening? You've been doing it for like 5 years.
It doesn't make it any easier. But
what's happening?
I remember the first time I did it, I was just doing a practice, and I didn't realize people could actually start watching me. So they were like, oh my god, hi Kimball, and I was like, so it freaked me out. So that was my personal experience. And then doing it like the channel with Rocky, it's really not too difficult when we're just living our lives, but when we go to events like Pride or something that's very big, and like I get overwhelmed, like overstimulated pretty easily, and it kind of like makes me want to go to shutdown mode to just stand off in the corner and watch. When we do stuff like that gets me a little overwhelmed. But like for the most part, like our YouTube channel is just us living our daily lives, and that's not hard. I mean, I'm used to Rocky having a camera anyway. He's had one since I've known him. Mm-hmm. It was just huge.
I think Kimball's great on camera. The channel wouldn't be anything without Kimball.
Yeah, it doesn't money maker.
Don says, I also get the sense you respect one another for who you are. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you for saying so. AJ says, hey guys, we've been together for 56 years. Speaking of claps. That's amazing. I literally, when I hear stories of, even if someone's been together a year, it just makes my heart so happy.
That was like the lazy coffee house clap.
But also, if someone's like, I'm alone and I'm happy, that also makes my heart happy. As long as people are happy, I think we're thrilled.
I'm right there with Daniel. He's like, I comment like 8 times, and I thought that was a lot.
PB&J says, don't mind me, just testing to see my new name. Norman in Four Corners, Florida. That's a good name because it describes everything. My wife and I have been together for 60 years. Our tip for success, share the same spaces and visit each other on occasion. Oh, that's sweet. I love that. I'm going to go back and see if there's any other questions we missed here, by the way. So Daniel asked how our house hunt was going. Oh my gosh.
It was a bit of a whirlwind.
There are a lot of options that we have to consider, and we have to make a decision very soon, to be honest. But you'll see that coming up soon. There's going to be a whole episode about house hunting, and very interesting choices, very different choices that we have to pick from. So I think it's going to be very entertaining. Eric says Kimball's the big boss.
Well,
Big Goose Adventure says a lot of YouTubers claim it's cheap to live in Thailand. I've been there 16 times by our standards. If you were to live like that, it's not cheap. What do you think?
Well, I kind of answered it earlier.
Yeah.
It just depends on the lifestyle that you want to live, because some people do live very frugally, and you can get by on $1,000 a month. You're not going to be able to do anything and everything. You'll literally just be getting by, probably, like, because you'll be paying your rent and transportation and food, and if you want to go out. But if you eat rice and live in a teeny tiny studio and this and that, you can do it comfortably.
And Kimball and I are buying a place for this reason. We want our monthly overhead to be low, so we're buying a place because we're staying here for 5 to 10 years, as long as they'll leave us here if I don't get us kicked out. But our monthly expenses will just be food and utilities,
right,
and transportation.
And
so
we really don't like going out to like fancy restaurants. We don't smoke or drink, so that saves us money.
Yeah, we don't do drugs.
Yeah, so basically we'll be spending money on food and transportation.
You don't smoke, you don't drink. What do you do? I just think of Karen Walker every time.
Right. This thing's coming.
Oh, Ek is here too. Ek is from Thailand as well, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe Ek is from. He says, "Hey guys, I just caught it live for the first time. Yay!" Hi. So you keep talking. Sorry.
Now it's like people have like tuned in to watch us read.
I'm sure people are tuning out at this point. I don't blame you guys.
Well, we have been chatting on for like over an hour and a half.
Love your channel and relationships is a little. Sorry, we read some of these. What's like the one thing? What's the one thing you want people to know?
Oh, how fabulous Rocky is. That's it.
Boring.
He's fabulous.
That's boring. I don't like that.
I don't know. There's lots of things that, everyone already knows everything about us.
Mr. Boo wants to know if we watched Drag Race in Thailand yet.
Wait,
is that Mr. Boo? Is that Mr. Boo from like
maybe
Me and Mon Ami channel?
Maybe.
Mr. Boo here?
I personally don't like reality shows, so that's a no for me.
I find them entertaining, but Kim and I are like into like competitive things because I feel like those shows specific. I think they're entertaining. I think they're fun, and I like that they're like representing drag queens and like people are seeing them and becoming more comfortable with them, because I think that's important. But for Kimball and I, when we see people put in situations that are like high stress and they're defeated or like
with judges and competition, it doesn't.
Yeah, it feels like
do
very
anything for
manipulative to us. Kimball and I are like not into manipulation or into
we're also into like just
like reality,
like
actual reality,
and like the shows we like. I don't know.
We literally watch a lady who's just renovating a house in Italy. Like it's
right.
I mean, like we just like people living their lives.
I was just thinking about when it comes to like actual TV shows and stuff. We like the BLs.
Also, I'm in production, so I was before this, and it was like anything that was like related to that at all, I was just like not into it at all.
Yeah. Although I do think it would be kind of fun, because some people think that like I could do drag makeup because of the artwork that I do, and I'm like, no, makeup is a whole other ball game, and like I would love to see what a drag queen would do on me, but I don't want to shave my face because that's just too much work.
What a drag queen would do on you? What are we talking about? Oh, makeup. Got it. Sorry, I was like reading questions. I heard the last part.
Because it was kind of like when America's Next Top Model came out, 500,000 years ago. My friend was really into it, so I watched a couple of it, and the only thing I ever really liked on it was when they did like the photo shoots. I hated everything else about it. And just seeing what people can do with makeup and photos, I'm like, yeah, that's very cool. Like, even with like fashion, I don't really like fashion. Like, when I watch a runway show, I'm like, that is such a ridiculous outfit, but it would be so fun to like use in like photos and film and stuff like that. But like to wear it on your day-to-day, I know it's mostly for inspiration to like create other things. Whatever. Tangent. Sorry.
Who's the craziest of you two? This is from Eric.
It depends on the situation, because Rocky's more the crazy of I will go skydiving, and I'm just kind of
I won't
crazy.
go skydiving,
right?
FYI, but at one point I would have.
He's like the physical crazy, whereas I'm just mentally crazy. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, Eric says, Kimball, you are just perfect.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
It's really weird, like social media. Like I thought coming onto YouTube, we'd have a lot of negative people. To be honest, I thought there'd be a lot of negatives, like people like fags, whatever. Like I thought people would say like bad things. But
right.
we only get like a bad comment every couple months, maybe every 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Like recently, someone was like, "Kimball's such a Debbie Downer," blah 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 blah. And then I was like, "Well, that's okay." Like we part of it because it was about Pride Month.
Well, it was funny because it was on the Pride video where it's a video about accepting people for who they are.
Right.
And then he's going off about how I should be like somebody I'm not, which
Right.
was bizarre.
And that's fine. Like, whatever. People are entitled to
Right.
opinions. So I just wrote and was like, but this is the person that I love. And I was like, first of all, thank you so much for watching and coming to diss my husband.
Right.
I was like,
It says-
but like, pride is about accepting about all different people and like, especially if they have love in their hearts, like whatever. And then he came back and was like, I understand that you're defending your husband, blah, 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 blah.
And just kept going
Your
off
husband's
it.
horrible. Like,
He was just being
basically. And I was
difficult.
like, I just wrote and was like, still here? Like, what's like,
Like, why are you wasting everyone's time?
Yeah,
and it's
so,
just
like-
funny because the week before, like, I had a similar situation with about Rocky, and I was like, obviously, I went off on it on my last video. If you
and
saw
like,
that.
sure, like people are allowed to their opinions, like whatever. Like I am
Right.
loud, and I could see myself being annoying to other people, but like, why would you take the time to say that? Like, just
Right.
move on to
Well,
the other video. Like,
and it wasn't one. It was one very long comment, and then there was like 5 follow-up comments, and I was like, that is way too much. Like, I was pissed off. So you could see it in my last video. Like, I was very upset.
wait, Kimmel and I we don't care if anyone says anything about us, but like the minute someone says anything
About the
about
other.
each other, we're like, studying Muay Thai,
I'll
like
take
don't
you
mess
out.
with me. No, we just get unnecessarily defensive of each other.
Yeah, that's the protective thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think there's been too much. If you guys have, we're probably going to end this in the next 5 minutes or so. So if there's anything really important that you guys want to ask, just put your question in and I'll make sure to read through all these. Or if there's a question you asked earlier we didn't answer, please put it again. Sorry.
You're right.
Homework.
I am low-key crazy.
X says yes, I live here. We need friends, Zach. I'm telling you. We've been. There was a guy at the grocery store, and we were like kept going to the same aisles, and I
Oh my gosh.
ended up handing him a sticker. I was like, I need friends. Honestly, we're clearly shopping for the same things. If you want to ever get hang out with Kimball and I, just come to our whatever. Maybe you could have a drag race.
Drag each other up. I don't think I wouldn't do that.
Campbell, I think we could do that. I would love to see what you would look like if I did makeup on you.
I've seen your drawings, so maybe.
Robbie says, Rocky and Kimball, your hair looks amazing, and I would love to run my fingers through it. But I think, Robbie, are you bald? Are you missing hair, or do you just like the idea of hair?
Wait, is that Rob?
That's Robbie Poindexter.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Rob.
Oh no, the one who did our hair the other
I
day.
was like, wait a minute.
Jonathan says, positivity attracts positivity, so you're golden. Oh. Tim says Kimball is low-key crazy and Rocky is out there crazy.
A little bit.
Kimball's definitely crazy. You guys have seen the channel, right? Like, it's not just me.
What are we talking about?
Like, Kimball has this
Rocky just edits me that way, I swear.
I do not,
Swear.
but I have a lot of fun editing.
Yes, Kimball's Corner definitely tomorrow. Hopefully, if this feels worse, I may have to cancel, but
We'll see what
we're doing all
happens.
right. It's just when I draw looking down, it tends to get a little worse.
Jason says, gotta get started on some projects, but thanks for sharing so much. Enjoy your anniversary and feel better, Kimball. From Jason and Amon, you guys, we actually got to meet with Jason
yeah.
and Amon. What day was it? What time was it?
Yesterday?
Well, we had a good, long chat. It was just so fun.
Yeah.
Also, Chris Carnes on here, a few other people.
Yeah.
And it was just really meaningful. So, yeah, if anyone, by the way, if you guys ever support, let me just explain something, because not a lot of people know this. If you end up doing Buy Me a Coffee, we always do like a 30-second video, because the platform allows you to send like a thank you video or whatever, so you always get like a personal message from us. If you guys end up doing Patreon over there on the brother and sister or the dad and mom tier, we will set up like a call, like an actual one-on-one call, and like chat with you guys.
It's getting hot in here.
Obviously we have to like manage our time and stuff like that, so it's
Sorry, it's hot.
I just wanted you guys to know that. So that's like one of the
Have we
things.
considered children?
I've considered that they exist.
We like pets personally. I adore children. I think they're a lot of fun, but I am not ready to be a parent. Probably never will be.
Yeah.
I always feel like if I ever have that maternal thing kind of kick in, or paternal thing kick in, I will babysit. And that will be enough.
I've had a lot of people be like, you guys would make great dads, and I totally agree with you. I really appreciate that.
I mean,
like, genuinely.
if we were dads, we would definitely give our all to our child. Like,
yeah, we would be. I think we'd be really great parents. It's just that there's so much that we want to do that we want to be selfish with our lives, to
Right.
be honest. We want
to be, yeah, that's why we haven't gotten another pet, because we do really want to have another pet in our lives, but
and also I don't want to leave the corporate stress life that I had into like having another stress in my life. I want to
Yeah.
enjoy, and so I'm a
Yeah.
like never say never person, but like at this point I have no desire.
I mean, we're gonna be traveling and stuff, and I wouldn't do that to any person or
Yeah.
animal, so
For now. I hope that none of our answers are disappointing to anyone, but they're just like the reality of how we feel.
we are not planning on buying a car. We'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, we've been here a week, and we've literally been from one end of Bangkok to the other. No problem. God, just Bangkok traffic. I couldn't handle it. But yeah, and like I said, the transportation here is really good. There's like also buses and trains and planes to like that are really affordable to like nearby cities, and even to like up to Chiang Mai. I think it'd be fun to go up to Chiang Mai. Somebody had asked earlier about our adventures like within Thailand.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to go out and explore. I think I want to learn a little more of the language first. Like Kimball and I have been so busy like leading up to this. I would have loved to spend like 4 to 6 months learning the language so I could be more conversational, because
Right.
I think it's really respectful to do that. Like even before we went to France, I studied for like 7 months.
Right.
I would
And
have
Italian and
loved
stuff, yeah.
to have done that, but I was so crazy busy that I was
Yeah.
like, I can't. So now that we're here, once we get settled and we find a place, because it's like all about priorities, we're going to like really dive in and learn conversational Thai, like just basic conversations, so we can
Right.
talk to people and just be respectful, because that's how we feel. It's respectful.
Right. And there's I mean, enough about that.
Yeah.
So there was a BL called, what was that, 1,000 Stars?
Something like
it
that.
took place up north, and I really want to go there. Like they were up in they were in like tea fields and stuff, and like gorgeous, like these huge rolling mountains. So I want to go up there and see what that's all about, because it looked really beautiful. Learn a bit about tea, because I'm not really a tea person, but like maybe if the more I learn about it, respect it a bit more, I could be into it. Thai tea for sure is delicious.
What I miss?
What is it?
Sorry guys. Jack F and Twist says, I take my dog wherever I go. It's expensive but fun. If I wasn't with Kimball, I think I would have a dog and go traveling. Probably. You're like my dog.
That's a really good point. I was reading Thai Lady Boy's thing about,
Yes.
yeah, like we really don't swear. We don't cuss a lot, really, ever.
Sometimes.
Right, but like if every other word out of your mouth is a swear word, like you kind of get what you give.
Yeah, agreed.
So they're saying like maybe that's why we don't have a lot of negative comments, because we aren't putting out that negativity.
Maybe. I think that YouTube is also, yeah, I agree. And I think that YouTube, as much as it's like a very slow growth for the channel, I think that YouTube is doing a very good job of finding people with similar energies and desires that we have. So it's bringing people into the fold that are genuinely interested at a very slow pace. I would love for it to just get opened up and have like millions of views, but I think then you're going to have a lot of people who don't align with your channel, a lot of negativity and stuff like that. And I'm not like in such a hurry to grow that I would want that to happen. And also I really enjoy being able to have one-on-one connections with you guys. And at some point I think I have like pre-anxiety that at some point it's going to be unmanageable to talk to all of you guys, and that will make me really sad. But,
yeah, Robbie's bald, so I'm just letting my hair down.
But you guys are just all so nice, like genuinely, like when the things that you write gives me a window into who you are, and it doesn't give me a full picture, but it like just tells me enough to know that I'm really grateful for you guys in our lives. And your positive messages and our positive messages back to you are all very genuine, it feels like to me, and it's a very rewarding experience as a human being, and another one I thought I would have. So yeah, just crazy. You guys are crazy. Patrick says, I have been here the whole video and just now realized this was alive and not uploaded on the live. Kimball, you are my spirit animal. Rocky, you are so funny. Awesome job, you guys. Mwah.
Thank you.
By the way, Kimball, it is 12:23 a.m. here in Bangkok. How are you? Are you ready to go to
great.
bed?
My throat is so scratchy.
Kimball
We're
is
doing
going to
great,
just
though.
literally pass out after this.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that overnight train to Chiang Mai. I've seen videos where everyone's like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be such an adventure. And then it shows them on their training like, you guys, I can't sleep. And then they get there the next morning like, I slept like maybe 2 hours. I'm so exhausted. I'm never doing this again. So I don't know, because there are buses that look so much more comfortable. But, you know, I thought about doing it for the adventure, but I don't want to get to Chiang Mai and be exhausted. But we could also fly there for like $50 and it only takes an hour.
John says, more thumbs up, guys, please. Oh, you guys are so nice. I can't see how many people are thumbsing up, but I mean, any interactions you guys have are just lovely. I get really sad about doing live streams sometimes because these comments that are all here, do they live afterwards?
I don't know. I don't know how any of this works because you're like you're using a weird program, so I don't know.
I'm using a program called OBS. If I didn't have this program, I couldn't do all like the overlays and like the pictures and stuff like that. So I like doing it, and also I can control the audio level
because I think
there's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, so many. I think when I do lives on my channel, I just go straight to YouTube through YouTube and
right. Do I look more official like this or what?
You look like you're about to like land an airplane or something.
Kimball, how do you put up with like all my crazy personality stuff? No one's asking. I'm just curious how you do it.
I don't know. I think like I'm so used to it that like with you, you're like, I don't even realize you do this crap, and then like you're editing, you're like, Kimball, what the hell are you doing?
The keyword.
Yeah, like, you know, because you're like, Kimball, what are you doing in this video? Like, you're so weird. And I
oh yeah, totally. Like Kim will be downstairs playing a game or something. I'm like, Kimball, get up here now. What were you doing?
Right. And I'm like, I don't know, dancing weird.
But in the moment, I had no idea. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Right. So I think that we're just so used to each other that we miss these things. So it's really fun to like capture and share with you guys. So we're like ticking
clocks. We just like forget it's happening in the background as we go about our lives. Perfect. That's what everyone wants to hear. That's the secret.
That's the secret. You just forget what you did the day before and everything's new and refreshing.
Stop paying attention. The comments can be replayed when you watch later. Maybe I can record the comments so you can look at them later. Oh my god, can they summarize?
I don't know.
That's like when you're in a Teams meeting.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just carry on dancing over here in the corner, Daniel Forrest says. Jack says your editing really cracks me up. The funny thing is, I'll just talk about this briefly. We'll wrap this up really quick, guys. So basically,
I mean, we've said that 3 times now.
I know, but here we are. This channel,
Jazz Hands,
is really important for a lot of reasons, and I want you guys to understand why. So when I was like 12, 13, I really wanted a camera. I think I've talked about this before, but like the only video I ever had of my dad, like memory, was an old video my aunt had shot in 1987, I think. It was like Christmas of 1987, and my dad had passed away when I was young, like 5, so I had like very little memories of him. So I was obsessed with watching this video of him and our family. And so by the age of like 11, 12, I really wanted a camera because I just like loved it. And I don't think I realized that was the reason, but I'm pretty sure that was why. So my stepdad bought me a giant RCA camera, and I was obsessed with filming everything. But like my sister didn't really want to film with me because she wanted to go and like hang out with her friends, like rightfully so. And my friends were like, you're weird, whatever. Like, so I was like filming myself around the house. And I didn't have a subject to film, but I wanted to film and edit so bad. I had nothing. I was just like doing whatever I could. But when maybe about 8 or 9 years ago, I was like, I want to do YouTube. I saw people doing it. And was like, this really ticks all the boxes for like just being real and filming and editing. And I love editing. And so to be able to do this with Kimball, we'll get to whatever you're laughing about. To be able to do this with Kimball is like literally the dream that I've had since I was really young, because he's such a fun partner to film with. It's very entertaining to just like share our lives. And like some people might think it's like self-centered or whatever, but like to me it's just capturing a memory for myself. Editing is like the art of making something flow and putting your own personality into it, because like you can tell there's a lot of editing in our videos. Like I definitely like have a specific style.
Rocky, people are signing off to go to sleep, just so you know.
I don't blame you guys. Get the hell out of here.
But then other people are like, you guys literally don't know how to wrap things up.
Wait, no, we're like so bad. Even
that's
like,
what I love about it.
Even condoms. But that's the joy that we get from this channel, and the joy that comes out of it is like it's fulfilling this like long standing desire that I've had since I was really young. And like I'm just really lucky that you accepted and came along and did it with me, because like without Kimball here as like the guiding voice and the person to like the coming to Jesus moment all the time, like the channel wouldn't be the same. And you were like what I was always looking for in my life. It was to have a good partner, someone to celebrate life with. And I'm just so grateful that you've been here for 27 years, and I'm really excited for whatever we're going to do in the next 27.
Oh, that sounds like a wrap up.
Don't tell me I don't know how to wrap things up.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
Anyway, we're going to call it there, guys. We love you tons. What else do you want to say?
We don't know yet about the deposit on the apartment. Somebody asked if we got our deposit back.
We will let you guys know as soon as we know all the details.
We did do like a huge walkthrough. A heater of all things that didn't belong to us. Like, we just forgot to set it aside, got mixed up with our stuff, so that people packed it.
We're never going to use it here, and we're never going to sell it, so I don't know what the hell's going to happen with it.
So, annoyed by that, but we let the guy know right away, our landlord. He's a really great guy, so...
So, upcoming videos that you guys can expect is on Patreon for all members, that, aside from free, all members that are paid members, we'll see a video that's like our first week in Bangkok, coming out either tomorrow or the day after. For YouTube, it's going to be our first 24 hours in Bangkok, and then right after that, shortly, will be our full house hunting tour. And then the video after that will be where we're moving.
And tomorrow, I am going to go live at 7 p.m. Somebody had asked.
Yeah.
So I'm going live at 7 p.m. Bangkok time. I was lazy and did not create a time chart, but it was the same time I did last Sunday. I don't know what's going to work best. I might start doing every other weekend with like a morning time and a night time, just to kind of include everybody, because when I was in England, I kind of got people from around the world, and so now it feels bad like neglecting people, so I don't know.
Jonathan's saying I should plug the single again. So if you guys have heard the YouTube videos before, there's that like song that's like the intro song or whatever. There's actually a full song for that, and it's called Just You and Me, Kid. If you guys want access to it, I've given it to all the Patreon members at all tiers. So even if you just sign up for like the $3 tier or whatever, it's there. So if you guys want access to that, it's there.
Sounds like a heater in Thailand, send it to a museum.
Basically.
For real.
Okay, we love you guys.
Right, yeah, we gotta
That's
go.
the end.
This boy needs to rest. How am I going to perform tomorrow?
Thank you for the love. We send it back to you genuinely, and we look forward to having so many more adventures together, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'd kiss Kimball, but he's sick.
I wanted to make hearts too.
All right, you can just go to bed. Wait, can we do this?
There we
like,
go.
it doesn't do a thing. This is like the lamest.
There we go.
ending
See,
ever.
I got a thumbs up.
But I want to do like the fireworks.
How do you do the fireworks? Isn't that like this thing or something? Oh.
Oh my god, this is the most like
Do it.
lame ending. Okay, stop
Whatever.
streaming. I think I press this button now.
All right. Love you guys. We'll talk later.